What up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. A few shout outs before we bring up the panel. Thank you, everybody. If you get here early enough, I will pull your greetings up on the screen while the song is playing. That way everybody gets to see, like, oh, who's here? Who's chilling? Who's in the house? We have Maestro here. Good to see you. We also have Defunct in the house. Jose, Blackwing Gaming, Fetman Plays is here. Screwface Capone is here. Hero's Journey. Hello, everyone. I am not solo today. I actually had two people in the green room. Cody's here. Hey, Cody, what's going on? I had two people in the green room. One of them, I think, had an issue. But we do have someone else here. So the edginess has arrived. I believe this is Paigey. Is it actually Paigey?
Yes.
Hey, Naruto, what's up? Hello, Allie. Yeah, 4 days until Superman and Lois. Are you ready, Paige? Are you ready for Superman and Lois? Are you ready for the return?
Yeah. I'm just intrigued to see like how it's paced throughout the final season, stuff like that. But
you mean like,
overall, yes.
What do you mean, like in the editing or in the episodes? Like,
well, just more like because of like the situation where like Superman's dead, so how do they pace those episodes?
Yeah.
You know?
I have a feeling that's why the first two episodes are debuting on the same night, because they want to bring him back as quickly as possible. So I think he might be on for like the first two episodes.
But also, I think it also is probably because episode 1 and 2 work hand in hand. Like it might have been like worse off putting them on separate weeks rather than on the same night.
I've seen some comments about people that have seen the first, I think, 4 episodes.
I think it's the first 3.
Yeah. Either way, it's really good. Like the reception to those have been really good. So I think that's pretty solid. I'm looking forward to it. I think the weird thing is going to be next week. It's 8 to 9, 9 to 10. So the after party will probably be an hour after the second episode airs. So that gives you time, because I know you're making your video right when the episodes are over. So, because I'm assuming you're going to jump on with me after the.
Well, yeah, if time permits, I'll wait and see how it goes. If not, then I'll. Yeah, I know. I'll wait and see. Yeah,
because I mean, I know every week after that, it'll be like a 2 to 3 hour gap between the episode and like the stream. But next week, because it's 2 episodes, it's going to be tight. So, let's see here. We have a super chat from Crazy Cat Lady, $5 super chat. I won't be able to see Joker 2 until next Friday because my dog and scared to leave her alone are right now. Yeah, I saw it today. I went and saw it. So I'm going to talk about it without spoilers later on in the stream. It's like one of the last topics I have lined up, but I'll talk about it then. But I'm not going to spoil anything. To be quite honest, there's only 2 things you can really spoil in the movie, because it's just so fucking boring. But I'll talk a little bit. Have you seen it yet? Are you going to see it or no?
I don't know. I know. Like it's sort of pointless. Like if I'm gonna go see it, it'll probably be like when I get like the super.
You've already been spoiled though. You've already been spoiled on the movie.
So I'm not gonna pay it. You know what, $20-$25 or whatever to see it opening week. If like I've been spoiled the ending, and from what I haven't heard, honestly, the only person I've seen give it a positive review is your best mate.
Ben.
Ben, he's the only one I've seen give it like a positive review. I think he might have glazed it as well.
Yeah. I want to thank you for the super chat. I'm keeping track of it down. Like, if I had one thing that I could, like, a dream option added to StreamYard, it would be some sort of a donation tracker, because that really is the only thing I miss from Streamlabs, is being able to, when people donate, having a little box that shows like how much they've donated. So I'm keeping track of it in the banner now. It's a really annoying, clunky way to do it, but it gives a goal. It makes people feel like they're contributing to stuff. So, you know, they get to see their money add up to a number, and it helps out with the incentivization of it. And, you know, I like that you guys want to support the show, and so it also helps with that. I wish that there was something like that built into. I wonder why they don't do that. You think there's like is there probably some weird like I don't know, like technical reason why they don't do it, or why
Well, I
they
think
don't have
it's.
some sort of
I
tracker?
mean, it's fairly bare bones. So they probably don't want to add anything that overcomplicates anything. Like they have nothing really there for overall stats while you're streaming. So
It's just weird because they've added in a lot of stuff recently, and that's one that a lot of people have asked for, and it just doesn't seem to be. They're not rushing to do it. I wish they
it's
would.
probably not, it's probably not worth it for their servers and stuff like that to do it. Like,
You know what I could do though, Paigey? I could use Streamlabs as a virtual webcam and just put a counter on my box here, something inside of this to do it, because I think it'll, like if I link it to my YouTube, I think that'll work, right? Wouldn't it show that in this screen if I did it as a virtual webcam? I think it does.
I'd assume so.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
Depends
at
whether
that.
it's worth the effort or not.
Yeah. Blissful, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about it, I guess, a little bit later. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I have to be honest about how I felt, so we'll go into that. It's gonna be quite interesting. Naruto, that is one of the topics tonight. We're gonna talk about that. We have a bunch of stuff. When I tell you we have a bunch of stuff, I mean I'm not kidding. It's just like tab after tab after tab after tab of stuff to talk about. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. But thank you for the super chat, Crazy Cat Lady. Thanks everybody for being here. We're gonna start out with this one. This is a movie that I don't think you've seen this yet, Paige. I don't even know if you're gonna see it, right? Transformers 1 is it at the top of your list?
When it was announced, I wasn't going to say it, let alone after a trailer.
Well, the thing about it is, I think it's a solid film, but I think the advertising for this wasn't good. I don't think it was just advertised very well, and I know that's well. There's two things going against it. One is the advertising. I think the advertising wasn't done the way it should have been. I also think releasing kids' movies like a week or a couple weeks after they go back to school in the United States is dumb.
I think the big thing is that I think people forget why a lot of people like the general public like Transformers as a brand. It's because it was over the top and stupid as shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they tried to go back to like the 80s Transformers
The cartoon
cartoon,
era. Yeah,
stuff
the
like
cartoon
that.
era.
And I mean, like, I don't know if like the younger like crowd would really cares, let alone the people that were like invested in those Michael Bay Transformers movies. So they probably want to sort of like refresh the brand. But
I have to tell you that OG Transformers movie though, the cartoon, like the one from the 80s, is really fucking good. Like if you want the best of the Transformers animation from that era, that movie is the best one. Hands down. Like from that era of media. Like I'm not talking about now with like the Michael Bay stuff. I mean, up until this point, that was, in my opinion, the best of like that hand-drawn animation. Yeah. I don't think the show even adds up to that. But we also have to remember though that Transformers really was like a means to sell toys. I mean, that's kind of what the brand was. So it's kind of absurd anyway. Like the whole premise is kind of absurd, but I love the idea of these transforming robots. And I think that's kind of why everybody loves them too. And this movie I thought was really good, but I don't know if the advertising did it justice. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the problem. Plus, how do you go from what we had with like the Michael Bay / Bumblebee films and then go back to something like this? It feels like a disconnect from that branding, in my opinion, but I don't know. Not totally sure. I don't think this movie is going to make a lot of money. I think this number is this 72 million or whatever based on the budget is. I think they're creeping up on their max out point. This movie, though, however, like with cartoons, this might make its money back on stream.
I was going to say the end, like it could redeem itself and potentially into potential profit. I mean, maybe is through the home video market thing, but that's a wait and see. What is it? Is it? Well, it's Paramount, isn't it? Because it's Transformers. Mm-hmm. So go to Paramount Plus.
They would still put it up for sale on streaming.
Oh no, they would, but I mean, like in the streaming side, like they might get subscriptions to Paramount Plus, and they see that the first thing that people watch is Transformers 1.
Yeah. Sad news for people that are fans of that '90s show. It was canceled at Netflix. So,
I watched one episode and went, "Well, this is shit."
It was awful. It was awful. Oh my god, it was so bad. So the thing is that we're sitting here, and several people I know loved that '70s show, and so they were really excited about this one. So when it came out on Netflix, we all got together and we did like a little watch party for the first episode because we were all like, okay, they're only 20 some minutes because they're sitcoms. After that first episode, we were like, okay, let's see how the second one is. And then we never went back and watched the rest. Like we were just like,
Yeah.
this is not for us at all.
I mean, I didn't love that 70s show. Like, I've watched it like when it was on TV and stuff, but I haven't like sat down and watched it from beginning to end or anything.
Yeah.
Like, not that type of viewer. But like, the reason that 70s shows works is because the characters and stuff, and the 90s show characters just seemed they were trying to like replicate.
Yeah, it was so hard. It was like try hard.
Yeah,
but you know who's not try hard is Bob from Organized Chaos here.
Oh, I was actually gonna be try hard right now, but you know.
Oh, were you? Okay, well. Yeah. Were you a fan of this, Bob? Did you watch that 90s show on Netflix?
It's weird. So like, I was a huge fan of that 70s show when it was on, and I probably watched it in syndication for a couple of years even after that. I really enjoyed it. But I haven't really picked up since then, and I never picked up that 90s show, even though I was interested when I heard about it. And I'm
there are some people that probably love it. It was not for me. It was definitely not for me. And this is not like, again, it's okay to not like something. I was never on a hate campaign against the show. I never called it woke. I never went after the actors or anything like that. I just didn't like it, so I didn't watch it. And that was pretty much it. But maybe I wasn't the only one because it got canceled after the second season. And but it says several people behind the show said they're going to shop it around to other places to see if anybody wants to pick it up. But we'll see. We'll see. We got another Team Eric member sounding out, fellow South Texas Shark here. We have a few hi Bobs in the chat, so that's kind of cool.
Hey.
Anthony, if you live action, this is about the Transformers. I don't know if you saw that or not, but the animated movie's not doing well in theaters right now. It's barely.
Yeah, well, the past couple, like, Transformers, as far as box office, hasn't been doing amazing since Bumblebee, which is unfortunate because Bumblebee it was kind of the turning point for me where it was. Like,
I actually think that was really the best of the live action movies in my opinion. I love.
I agree.
Look, if you like the live action, the recent one, it didn't even make that much of a profit, but it's getting a sequel. Yeah, true. Lance says, "Why do I see my face?" I don't know. Ask Pagey. Ask Pagey why he's got your face on. Let's keep going here. What's next? That 2000 show? Well, probably not. Not at this. Not at this point. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next topic here. We have something interesting. Am I roboting
a little bit? I wasn't sure if it was you or my earbud.
All right, hold on. Let me do this. See if that helps a little bit. Why does this always happen to me on StreamYard? Why?
The StreamYard is very taxing on bandwidth.
Yeah. And actually I'm running my my tabs on another computer to like reduce this computer. There we go. I think I can come back now. Let me see. I think I'm back. All right. This is YouTube related. Apparently, YouTube Shorts are now going to be increasing from 60 seconds to 3 minutes. Any video 2 minutes and 59 seconds or shorter will be automatically converted to YouTube Shorts.
Huh.
And this is not good. I was reading up on this. This is going to be a bad change for a lot of people because, because the issue is the monetization share program is not going to change when it comes to shorts, meaning that the percentage that you're getting is based on is based on 1 minute. So everything over that 1 minute doesn't count towards your monetization. You don't get to throw an ad in there. There's no ads being thrown up. So it's everybody that's making videos that are short form content creators now have to make sure their videos are 3 minutes and 1 second long or longer to not be automatically turned into a short.
The YouTube system's so weird. Like, I wish it was more based on formatting. Because I've done like videos that are just like barely over the line that end up not getting qualified as a short that are 100% intended to be shorts.
So, Paige, does this mean you're going to make more shorts now that there are 3 minutes?
Well, it was one thing that is that it take you 10 seconds to start, and then all of a sudden, and a minute goes like that. Like, especially when you, but at the end of the day, I reckon like 90 to 95% of shorts content is just people re-uploading stuff from TikTok and Instagram Reels. Like that's their main thing, and then they just re-upload it on YouTube Shorts, whether it's just a double dip or whatever it is, or just because they can. I think I'm still on the belief, and I'm shocked they still haven't done it, but maybe it's cheaper and more beneficial this way to just keep it on that. But I'm surprised there's not a YouTube Shorts app. Or something where it's more designated.
Well, they're even making it so now you can say you want less shorts in your feed. That's another thing that's coming, and I think it's all taking effect on the 15th. if I saw correctly.
Well, I mean, the thing to keep in mind, because I have a couple of shorts, and I was kind of curious because I haven't made much money off shorts. I mean, you monetize them, you make some money, but the regular videos bring in a lot more money. So out of curiosity, I brought up my most successful short. It's got 143,000 views. It's earned me $14 lifetime.
Yeah.
It's not
well, not only that, but shorts also, from what I can tell, based on people that I know that have, like, there's a lot of people that got to 100,000 subscribers just on their shorts. Yeah. And it does not reflect on their long form content. So they get that 100,000 subs. They're like, why are my live streams not getting any viewers? Why are my videos not getting any viewers? Because for some reason, YouTube has not figured out how to turn that subscriber number into something for long form content.
Yeah.
They just haven't figured out how to do it yet. And I don't know if they ever will. I think this is a step in the wrong direction, though, for YouTube. I had another thing here that I was trying to show, and I can't pull it up. It had more information about this. Where did it go? Hold on. But I'm not a big shorts person anyway, but I think they're doing this to sort of compete with TikTok.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's the plan.
I think it's pointless, though. You can't really, like... I mean, if someone's going to make short-form content like that, they're going to make it on TikTok. Unless they got banned, and then they're just going to go to Instagram.
Well,
Reels.
the other thing is TikTok... People that are over on TikTok will tell you that the content on TikTok is not a way to generate revenue either, because they don't make a lot of money. Even the people that are getting money on TikTok. You have to be someone that is streaming on TikTok for hours and hours and hours a day, getting donations from people, all of that stuff. You have to be doing that constantly to get any sort of monetization or brand deals. Brand deals is another way they make.
I don't know. I think it depends what type of content you make. Because if you're a spam content person, you're uploading 5 to 10 TikToks a day or stuff, and it's just like you're talking shit for a minute. Because I think you have to pass a minute on TikTok to get monetized, for your video to be monetized.
Yeah.
Then it's worth it. But it's like you have to make like brain rot content essentially. Like it's people
right.
You know what I mean? Like it's nonsense content. And a lot of the time someone might not even be watching it, just appearing on their feed and all that, and it just generates the views.
I also think that if the short system would feed into longer videos or to live streams better as a content creator, I would be more inclined to use them. But now it feels like two different ecosystems, because you can't really target your shorts. Like with our videos we make, we can add hashtags, we can change the title, we can make the thumbnail a certain way to pull in certain viewers. On shorts, it's just like with TikTok, where you just randomly hope it shows up in someone's algorithm and they watch it.
And I know I originally was almost treating shorts as like ads. It's like, hopefully, somebody sees this and checks out the other stuff, but there doesn't really seem to be any crossover. It seems like one or the other.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next one. I can't find that article and I don't feel like digging anymore. We have, this is something that I watched the other day all the way through, actually pretty much the first weekend it came out, and I haven't really talked much about it. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this or not, but it is the Twilight of the Gods, which is the Zack Snyder animated series. Paigey, did you watch this? Bob, you watched this? You guys?
I did not watch it.
Okay, this is going to be very controversial. I think this is the best thing he's ever done.
Okay.
I think it's the best thing he's ever created, honestly. The story is cohesive. The characters make sense. The animation leans into his cinematography. I'm not a big fan of the animation. I think it's a little basic. But in terms of like everything that he's ever done for DC and his Netflix stuff like Rebel Moon and a few other things, this is the best thing he's ever done. And I don't have anything really negative to say about it other than I don't really care for the animation. But I will warn you, there's a lot of nudity in it. A lot. Like every episode. There's nudity in it. So just be prepared.
Yeah, it's a TVMA. Okay.
Yeah, be prepared if you're going to watch it. I will say it does set up for another season. I don't know if it's been greenlit for another season or not, but I talk a lot of smack about Zack Snyder, so I feel like it's only fair to give him a shout out when I actually like something that he did. I thought this was pretty good, and I did not like the trailer. I thought the trailer looked pretty bad.
Yeah, I think I was here when we watched the trailer. Yeah, it did not look promising at all, and Zack Snyder's name attached did not give me hope.
Thor in this is crazy. because Thor is one of the characters in this series. It's like Zack Snyder looked at the MCU Thor and he's like, I just want to completely turn this character on their head. And it's frightening. It is a frightening version of Thor. But I think it's a pretty solid series. Again, I have to give him a shout out. Maestro, I would argue that it is probably the best thing he's done since, what was that first zombie movie that he did? What was it called?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. That was my favorite thing that he's ever done. That was my favorite one. And then I would say 300 was pretty solid. This is the best thing he's done since those. So everything else he's done in between then and now, this is my favorite. So Zaya, I wouldn't go that far. Would not go that far. I'd say I'm a secret Zack Snyder fan. Wouldn't say
Maybe all the bad response he got to Rebel Moon made him realize maybe focus a bit more on quality.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is solid. Maybe the animation is what it was. The voice acting I thought was really good. There's a little bit of like not great voice acting on a couple of characters, but not enough to be upset about it. So I thought it was pretty good. All right, here we go. This one. Tom Hardy has announced that Venom: The Last Dance will be his final appearance as Venom. That's our lot from me and our big guy. We loved every minute. I think he's responding to this from the article that I was reading. He's saying this because people were wondering if he's going to go over to the MCU, and I don't think he has any plans to do that. I liked him as this version of Venom, but if they're going to go a different direction with Venom, I think they're going to have to hire somebody else. It wouldn't make sense to bring him over.
Absolutely. I'd love them to actually do an accurate version of Venom. Like, his version of Venom is entertaining pretty much exclusively because it's Tom Hardy. But, yeah, I would prefer they actually make a serious attempt at it next time around.
What about you, Paige? How do you feel about are you going to go see this movie when it comes out? Like the third Venom movie? Are you going to see it?
Once again, maybe like the second week. It's out. I can't, I don't know, because the first one's fun. It's fucking stupid, but it's fun. The second one I didn't like very much. Yeah, whatever. So I don't know what to predict with the third one. You know,
I'll tell you, and I'm going to bring this up every time we talk about this because I never know if we have any new viewers. But I didn't necessarily hate the second movie, but one of the choices that drove me up the wall is the rave scene. I cannot get that out of my mind. They were talking about a character that's weakness is like a cell phone ringing, and he goes into a rave. It just didn't make any sense to me at all. It's like they completely forgot that was his major weakness.
You're looking for continuity in the Venom movies.
So Anthony says he doesn't believe him. So you think this is like his Tom Hardy moment or Tom Holland moment, where he's just pretending that he's just saying it because the contract's already been done, and he's going to be in the MCU? I'll be honest, I don't want him in the MCU, but I mean, maybe some people do.
I believe him. I mean, I think he's been saying this for a while, and the big difference between Tom Holland and Tom Hardy is, I want to say, around 20 years. Tom Hardy's at the point he's established. He doesn't need this. Tom Holland, I'm sure he would have a fine career, but like Spider-Man's his big thing. Venom is not.
Well, we've seen that Tom Holland and other properties kind of struggles a little bit, and I don't think it's his acting ability. I think it's just whoever his agent is.
Well, you gotta remember, like Tom Holland's like that weird thing where he's like, in his mid-20s, but he looks like he's 16. Like, it's hard for him. Like, he could keep getting cast as like a late teenager if he wants to.
It's like Leonardo DiCaprio syndrome for like most of his career until he got a little bit older.
If you look at all the other projects he's doing, he's trying to be someone that's in their mid-20s or trying to be in like a more adult role or whatever it is, and it just doesn't work with him. So I don't know what I'm trying to think of an actor at the top of my head which you could fall into, but like someone that just does those teen roles for a while. I don't know, but then again, maybe you don't want to be pushing 30 and playing a 16.
Well, the good news is if they wanted to keep Peter Parker a teenager for his entire life in the MCU, they probably could do it with Tom Holland. He could just be the perpetual teenager character they've always wanted Spider-Man to be. The other thing is that because he looks so young, he could play Peter Parker for another 20 years, and I think Marvel would be happy. They'd be happy with that.
I mean, it's a long way, but I've been wanting to do an older live action Peter Parker for a while. They keep on resetting his age.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that I think Tom Hardy's Venom would work really well in the Andrew Garfield world. I feel like those two would have had some chemistry together. I didn't like the Venom in the Tobey Maguire universe. I thought that the Topher Grace version that was not good. Anyway,
I think it's more
all right.
comic accurate, but it's still not good.
Speaking of the Venom trequel, is that a trilogy? Trequel, the Venom trequel. This came out the other day, but I didn't see it. So Andy Serkis is apparently going to be Null in Venom: The Last Dance, and I don't know if this has been debunked or not.
Well, didn't he direct the second one?
Yes, I was just wondering, is he directing this one?
I don't think he's directing this one.
What do we think about this? Because he's known for his motion capture stuff, and I think this character is probably going to be a lot of mocap, if I had to guess.
Yeah, no, I think if he plays it, that's a win for this movie.
So, who is the director for the third Venom? Let's see.
Kelly Marcel.
What has that person done before?
That is what I'm looking up. Saving Mr. Banks. Oh, they're the writer on the previous two Venoms.
50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
And Terra Nova, the series that was canceled after one season.
I tried to give that one a shot, but they kept on changing the schedule. That's right. I remember that series.
You know what? I wanted that to be good because I did like the premise, but it just...
Yes.
It also... I think it was filmed in Pagey's World down in Australia.
It's filmed in Australia, that one. That other one that I think sort of leans into that La Brea, whatever it's called, that filmed in Australia as well.
Oh, really? Interesting.
NBC show, I think it is.
We got a super chat from Hero's Journey here, $5 super chat. Change applies to videos that are square or taller in aspect ratio, so not videos less than 3 minutes automatically turn into shorts. What size is that? I think they said that if you're not specifically forcing it into like a certain aspect ratio, it just gets converted. So like with StreamYard, if we turn something into a short right now, it will just take this rectangle and put it in the center of a long box, and it doesn't look right. That's why I hate doing it. So I think what they mean by that is if you film something on your phone, or if you film it on something that's an aspect ratio that isn't the wide aspect ratio, it will automatically get converted. That's what I believe it means. But people that have read that don't truly understand what that means either. They like, if I do it at 720p, does that matter? If I do it, on my laptop, does that matter? Like what difference does it make? We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be on the 15th. So I also wonder if it's going to retroactively change everybody's videos to
I was wondering about that too, because I think I got a couple
15th.
of shorter ones. I don't know. I don't think I had any ones under a minute before, but under 3 minutes I might have in my older vlog. That'd be wild.
All right, so we are at the $10 out of the $75 goal. I'm trying to keep it in my head to go into the banner and change that. I don't know if you saw our Bob or not, but I was complaining earlier that Streamlabs and when you stream through that service, you can keep track of tips so people know how much they're donating. And they have not added that to StreamYard yet. And I was hoping they would. Seems like it's something they can do, but they're just not doing it. All right. Next topic is Snow White. This is some Rachel Zegler stuff here. So I saw this today and I immediately knew that YouTube was going to explode because it was news about Snow White and Rachel Zegler. So it didn't matter if it was good news or bad news or indifferent news. It was going to be the topic. Have you seen these videos already today, Bob?
No, I haven't seen these videos, but I'm sure they will. They really seem to get excited over Disney live action remakes made for teenage girls. So
right, because it's such a big blow to their nostalgia. Of Snow White, a movie they've loved for their entire life.
Yes.
So this is why I don't care. I really don't, because I'm not a huge fan of Snow White. So I'll leave it to the actual Snow White fans to decide if they like it or not. Yeah, not a bunch of older guys that don't care.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Snow White. I'm not a huge fan of Disney live action remakes either.
So there we go. Yeah,
I think there's only two that are decent, and that's what's it fucking called? Beauty and the Beast. Yes. That was well done, and The Jungle Book. which I don't even know if you count that live
I
action
was
because it's
not
literally
a fan of Beauty and the Beast, but I'll give you Jungle Book.
because it's just one. It's a live action kid walking around like CGI animals. So I don't know. It's like
Well, I also Jungle Book didn't like it. It's obviously borrowing a lot from the animated movie, but it doesn't feel the need to be like.
Well, the thing about it is also that
thing.
those to me aren't even true live action. Like the Lion King live action wasn't live action; it was just another form of
animated.
art. So
CGI rather than animated. Like
3Dub has arrived. Just waking up, I'm guessing. He was like, "Oh, I'm waking up. Oh, he's live. Okay, I'll jump in." So he is here. All right, so let's read what this says about Rachel Zegler and see why people are mad. Rachel Zegler reveals instead of skin as white as snow, the upcoming live-action Snow White has taken on a new origin story for the princess's name. It fell back to another version of Snow White that was told in history, where she survived a snowstorm that occurred when she was a baby. And so the king and queen decided to name her Snow White to remind her of her resilience. One of the core points in our film is for any young woman or young person is remembering how strong you actually are. Now, there's nothing necessarily bad about that statement. It's just it's explaining
actually
what
a nice statement. But...
Right. However, people are getting mad because, again, they're like, oh, they're changing it from her skin being white to something else. And so that's what they're focusing on. Plus, apparently, she made some comments, again, that were not bad, but they're trying to spin those around. At the end of the day, if you prefer the other Snow White stuff, just go watch the other Snow White stuff. It's really that simple.
I think, I have to be honest with this, I think this movie is 100% cooked. Like, it's... if I was Disney, I was like, fuck, do we even bother releasing this? Or just chucking on Disney Plus like they did with the Pinocchio movie with Tom Hanks? Because that was meant to go to, they got Robert Zemeckis for that, and it went straight to Disney Plus. No one even knew it came out.
Yeah.
I don't think Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah. Well, I think that was meant to go to Disney Plus, but I think it was one of those ones where like they were teeing up. It might have gone to theaters if it was good enough, but I guess it was just weird because it was live action talking dogs, and it just came across weird. But with this, I think they did those reshoots, and I think they probably sunk too much money into it, where they at least have to try and get something back from it theatrically.
I think the issue is they have not handled any of this well. Like
it's all over the place. Like and I think even just like some like. I don't think Rachel Zegler has like done anything like too bad, but it's clear. Like I know the whole media training thing comes in. It's just best you just don't say anything because at the end of the day, people are easily persuaded to think one way or the other, whether it's like ultimately bad or ultimately good.
Right.
You're there to promote a movie that's probably already like not a slam dunk. But I think,
and also it's a children's movie. That's the thing. This is definitely marketed towards kids and families.
It's also not. I don't think it's a ridiculously popular Disney thing either.
It's
like,
not.
I think,
Snow White is one of the least popular
from the
Disney princesses.
It's what the 30s, late 30s.
It's 100 years old. It's almost 100 years old.
Yeah.
Why holds up a special place as their first animated movie?
It's their first. It was the first Disney.
Well at all. Yeah.
Outside of I think Steamboat Mickey or whatever it is, I think it was like this was like their first animated movie, and I think it might have been the first one that went to VHS. I think as well. So like, but it's not like Beauty and the Beast, which came out in the 90s, and all those like 80s and 90s animated movies that got live action treatments. This is
Crazy
like
Cat Lady.
the old Disney. Like I don't know if the appeal's there that much. I don't know what's Snow White's view rate on Disney Plus. How many kids are like, let's chuck on Snow White?
That's the thing is she's been rated as one of the most least popular princesses, and I think that's why they wanted to update it because they need this IP to be more popular in the park. So they wanted to, put more money into it and make it more popular that way. And I think ultimately what's going to happen is kids will watch it, families will watch it. It's just not going to perform those big numbers at the box office that the other ones have done. I also want to point out, why did Variety use this picture of her next to Snow White in this tweet?
I think it's a photo.
She's wearing a white dress.
I'm guessing.
Well, no, it says
it looks like a camisole. It looks like a nightgown.
Well, you can see the V there on the corner, so it must be the photo shoot they did with her for that interview.
Right, but why? She's promoting Snow White.
Yeah, no, it's probably not a good look. Like,
I mean, this whole thing seems so weird. I just, at the end of the day, grown men my age, close to 70 years old,
80.
50. No,
please. Snow White.
Getting mad about this looks really stupid. It's really, really dumb. And we're going to talk more about this. There is an article from Variety.
I think it has to be
like later on. So
the ducks just get lined in a row, so that's fucking it's almost like pathetic that like you'd bother like loading up a YouTube video or live stream, whatever it is, and complaining about it.
Yeah.
It does this is
and attacking a young woman actress like that.
Well, to be honest, I think Rachel Zegler's like, is it even worth trying to make a movie career? Because I saw that she went back to she's doing, I think it's Romeo and Juliet, or is it and Juliet? She's doing one of them. I don't know if it's and Juliet or Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, yeah.
I know she's
and Juliet is a new play,
yeah.
Right? Relatively new. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what she's playing because they're both things that still run at the same time. So I don't know what one she's on. I think she's playing Juliet in either one of those ones. But like, I think she needs this movie to do half decent. But I sort of feel bad for her because she seems to be like she seems to strike like some really bad cards or pick up some, like it's like she's playing Uno and the person next to her
the issue is I'm going to point this out. The same thing is happening with like some other people in the media right now. Is you have these younger stars coming up who are extremely confident, like they understand who they are and they understand the kind of movies and TV shows and music they want to make, and when they stand firm in that, it threatens people who feel like they need to be in control of everything.
Well, I think it's also a mixture of is it Gen Z, the next one, where they they don't get no, if that makes sense. Like there's no to them. So like, and there's also like the thing of like, I know best, even if you don't, which can be confidence, but it can also be.
But you have like late series Gen Xers and Boomers arguing with Gen Zers. It's the worst mix you could possibly.
Oh, it's the worst mix. Like, but when it comes down to it, like when it comes to like the actual business of it all, like you know who's going to know more. Like I trust someone that's like a 20-year creative than like the person who's been in Euphoria or something like that.
Right,
says, I know what's going on here. It's like no, you don't.
It's but look, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, just looking into Rachel Zegler, I looked over her filmography and I forgot she was in the 2021 remake of West Side Story. I just wanted to shout that out because that one is underappreciated and a fantastic remake.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah, but she gets like that whole thing got like overshadowed because she didn't get like nominated or something. Well, she got nominated for some stuff, and then the whatever her name is, the girl that's in fucking Craven, funnily enough, got the Oscar for it.
Oh, really?
What's her name? Yeah, what's her name? Ariana something. Can't remember the last name.
I don't remember the
Ariana Grande.
No,
it's definitely not Ariana Grande.
That's the only one I know.
That's funny.
Now I'm trying to remember who's in Craven. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Russell Crowe.
We had a super chat here from an anonymous, or not a super chat, a chat that I highlighted. This is funny because it is about something that is getting resolved, I guess, tomorrow. But have you guys been able to get water and toilet paper? It's been crazy, the shortage here, and in the U.S. everywhere is sold out. So in case anyone doesn't know what this is about, the longshoreman that works at the docks between the Gulf and New York City up the East Coast took a union strike on Wednesday, I believe, because they were negotiating pay. And just like with actors and writers and directors, you have a union, they decide to strike, everybody strikes. And it was shutting down like incoming items from other countries, mostly things like alcohol and cars and lumber and things like that, like these big items. However, because of Facebook and the boomer generation, which I'm going to blame them for this, people going, go get toilet paper now before this shortage starts, because people are so afraid they can't wipe their ass that they have to go and buy up all the toilet paper in the stores. Knowing full well that almost 95%, maybe more than that, manufacturers of toilet paper in the United States are American companies. They don't ship that stuff from overseas.
Quick, we need to remake the beginning of the pandemic again, guys.
It's Facebook shit. It's dumb.
I remember that, and I was like, I was thinking to myself when COVID was starting, and so I was like, when am I going to get? Because it was like, I think Australia was like one of those first places that started doing the toilet paper thing, where people were buying out the toilet paper.
Well,
and I looked online, and I was like, where am I going to get? And I had to look on Amazon. And I was like, don't trust it. And then I just went to an office supply company, and I bought this massive box, like that you'd buy, I guess, for a big office building of toilet paper.
That's exactly what we did.
Had individual rolls in it. And so I remember getting delivered, and I thought it looked like I was getting a fucking bar fridge or something.
That's what I was going to say. We have a linen closet, right? So we ordered that during COVID, right? We ordered a big, because all they had was like a box of, I hate to say this, it's like 500 rolls of toilet paper.
I think mine was like 320 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was a lot, and it was like $70 for that whole box because it's like office toilet paper, but they're in individual rolls. So our closet, we've been giving it away to people. We had so many rolls. We're like,
that's what I was doing.
Would you like
I was
some
like,
toilet paper? Because we have so much.
I've filled my linen cupboard. It's just toilet paper. If someone came in, I didn't explain. They opened up. They think I have some sort of fetish or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like,
the
what's
same thing with
going
us.
on
Is we tried to use it, but we still have some left, and this is from 2022. We still have toilet paper left, so people can buy all the toilet paper they want. We're good. We're fine. We got plenty of toilet paper. If anybody on here needs toilet paper for any reason, you can hit me up, and I will ship it out to you.
The only issue is that because I know Eric, and I know what type of guy he is. It's 1-ply, so that's the only issue.
It's 2-ply. It's 2-ply.
You get 2-ply? Nah, you get 3 or 4. What are you doing?
Well, this was during the height of the pandemic, so all of it was whatever we get our hands on. So.
Just double fold, I guess.
At least no one bought baby oil.
Oh, God.
You obviously haven't heard Eric's stories.
Oh yeah, all my baby oil. Cody here with a $5 super chat and a team member. Thank you, Cody. Talking about Snow White. This is actually on a boycott list that none of the internet knows about because of Gal Gadot. No, I did know about that because of her involvement with the Israeli military. Because when she was younger, she joined the military because I think it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's mandatory. I think it's mandatory.
Yeah, there's like certain countries, like
I
mean, like Finland or something does it as well. You have to be in the military.
So why is she being boycotted for something she's out of control?
Because people.
She's also voiced pro-Zionist sentiments.
Yeah. She's said stuff too. But that was where it all began. So Gal Gadot's career is pretty much going to be. I'm not gonna say it's going to be a problem for her forever, but it is definitely a problem right now. So,
well, it depends how things end. That's it. You can support whoever you want, but at the end of the day, it depends on how things end, and then that shows who's on the right side. Well, I guess, in regards to the, that type of sense. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know it's not.
I was going to put him the perspective, but the actor who plays Frenchie in The Boys is also Israeli, and he was also conscripted. With the big difference being he's not out there publicly voicing Zionist stuff.
Yeah.
I can tell it's not worse than what Hartley Sawyer did because he lost his career.
Hartley Sawyer's was the dumbest one though. That one was really stupid. Not because I agree with his really bad jokes. I mean, obviously they were just really bad jokes, but the fact is he disappeared. He's we talk about cancel culture. He was 100% canceled, 100%. He's not anywhere anymore. He played the elongated man on The Flash, and he had some really Bob. I'm saying this because you probably don't know what we're talking about, but he played the elongated man on The Flash. He had some tweets from a while ago where he made some really stupid jokes back when everybody on Twitter, like James Gunn, everybody was making dumbass. Jokes.
It was around the George Floyd thing. It was just after the George Floyd thing, wasn't it?
No, it was 2014.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was earlier than that.
No. I mean, when they got found out, when they got.
Oh yeah. They dug them up when the George Floyd stuff was going on. Yes, that's when they found them.
Oh, and he wasn't even saying anything bad about George Floyd.
No, it was just people were digging up, looking up for things from people to make them look like they were racist. And the thing about it is, he was on set with all the people. None of the actors said anything negative about him. No one ever commented about it. No one said anything. But there had to have been one person on set that was like, I don't want to work with him. And that's how that whole thing unfolded. So I don't know who that was, but it had to be. But yeah, Cody, I understand why. So Chalk King here. This is taking us back to the Chalking era. With the $5, we're gonna bring Chalking back for the after party. $5 super chat. Random question: how do you think Deadpool and Wolverine will return in Secret Wars? I would love Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in Secret Wars. I would say they're gonna bring everybody back that they can get to come back for Secret Wars. That's pretty much a guaranteed. I feel like they would be missing out on bringing back, especially the two people you've mentioned here. Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman seem like a no-brainer for me to come back for Secret Wars.
If they do bring back Wolverine, I kind of want to see. There's been rumors of what he wants to have a scene with, and I think Tobey Maguire would be awesome.
I get what you're saying for the Spider-Man.
But didn't Aziz Ansari wasn't he just being a massive simp? Wasn't that his whole thing? Wasn't he sexting or something? Or no, didn't he wasn't he just being a massive simp or something?
I think so. Yeah.
There was a joke on the 2000 X-Men movie where they were filming a scene of the Liberty Bell, and you see Spider-Man just coming on set like he's a 2002 hero because it hasn't come out yet, but they were 2000, and obviously it was a stunt person. But that would have been funny if it was actually Tobey Maguire.
Zaya, no, I was never invited to a Diddy party. I was never invited. So Pagey was. Pagey's been to a few of them actually. He was telling me about them.
Well, here's the thing. No, I've got a big question for you, Eric. Because you're a DJ. Is Diddy now off your playlist?
I have not played any Diddy music since this whole thing happened. I've avoided it.
But will Diddy forever stay off, or is there a potential for a
if
comeback
some of the stuff
to
that
the
came out
playlist?
the last couple of days is true, yes, I think Diddy will probably forever be gone, at least for the rest of my career, most likely. Or you'll hear remixes where they pull Diddy out of the Diddy songs.
I didn't know Diddy existed until I heard about him.
What?
I didn't know.
Well,
Yeah.
he used to be Puff Daddy. I don't know if that rings a bell. For
And then
you.
before that he was Sean Combs. So
Yeah, Sean Puffy Combs.
All right, so we are. I like this little tab at the bottom. We are $20 towards our goal. Awesome. So that,
I know who
I'm
R.
keeping up
Kelly
so
is,
far,
though.
So. Everybody knows who I Believe I Can Fly is.
Uh-huh.
All right, so here we go. Frank Grillo's Rick Flag Sr. will debut in Animated Creature Commandos, but James Gunn says we'll see him from different angles across Superman and Peacemaker Season 2. I'll be honest, I'm over Frank Grillo. I'm so tired of this actor. I do not have anything really positive to say about him. I should make probably video after video about how much I don't like him, but I'm not going to do that. I think he's going to do fine. I don't have an issue with it, but he's one of those guys that just says the dumbest shit on social media sometimes. And I just don't know. He was Crossbones in the MCU.
That's why I was.
So,
That's why I was saying. I was like, was he Crossbones? He looks familiar.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, his face was effed up.
I guess I'm not as in touch with his social media stuff. I know just occasionally he pops up in my feed, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's dumb," and I scroll away.
Yeah. He just. I think Paige, we talked about it when he was making comments about like how was it some like shady comments towards Marvel, and then being happy that James Gunn picked him up or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
he was. I think he was acting like he played Captain America or like a character people cared about. Like he was playing fucking Crossbones, who was wearing a mask.
Yeah,
it could have been anyone. After he got his face messed up, like who cares? Like, the thing is that like credit to Frank Grillo, he's just been grinding, but he's just been doing like B and C movies. Like he's been doing straight to DVD movies for the past like few years. Like James Gunn has thrown in the biggest like lifeline, like or like helping hand of all time by putting him in someone like a role where it's only just in animation voicing and in a project that like heaps of people will see compared to his previous stuff. But like I think some of the stuff that like he just like even like when he spoiled Superman, like he took leaked set photos that were getting taken down.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah. I remember that
story.
Yeah, that's what it was. He's a loose cannon. I don't know. I don't know if I like the character enough yet to make any.
The only thing I can think of, like him and James Gunn must be like friends in real life. That's the only thing I can think of. Like they just I don't know if they live near each other or they just have very like mutual friends or something.
Does James Gunn hire his friends?
I thought he hired his wife.
Oh yeah, that too.
Well, I think she was his girlfriend at the time.
I don't know what made me think of this, but have you seen, Paigey, that Manu Bennett is hosting a reality TV show? Did you see this?
In Australia, yeah, he's hosting. Jai Courtney did it for. Oh no, Manu Bennett's doing the American version, but it films in New Zealand.
Yeah, the mountain climbing.
So Jai Courtney did the Australian version during COVID when like nothing could happen. So I think they did 2 seasons back to back of him filming it because it was COVID. But yeah, I did see that Manu Bennett's doing the American version. It's called The Summit. Yeah. And then I saw the trailer and he's like, surprise, you're climbing to the summit. No shit, the show's called The Summit. So like, what do you think? What, we're fucking scuba diving? Like,
you want to see one of the worst things that could have possibly happened with DC was this rumor. Warner Brothers reportedly begged Joker director to run the new DC studios. Now, this was back in 2022, right? So
why is it begged though?
Could you imagine if Todd Phillips would have been in the James Gunn position right now? Like,
it sounds awful.
I'm just like, why is it? I don't see Zaslav like on his knees begging.
Actually,
Yeah,
you know what my
I-
weirdest Manu. Someone just said he's in Tulsa King season 2 as a bad guy. I'm assuming referring to Manu Bennett. I had the weirdest Manu Bennett find ever. I was like, is that fucking Manu Bennett? I was watching this Australian movie from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's called Lantana. And Manu Bennett's like this. I don't think he's gay, but he's like this salsa teacher. I'm like, is that fucking Deathstroke? Why am I seeing him teaching salsa? And I'm like, oh yeah, that is him. I heard him
Are
start
you
talking.
saying that Deathstroke can't have swagger? Come on.
Well, I
I
just wasn't
mean,
expecting it. It's not every day you're just watching a movie from the 20, well, almost going on 30 years ago, and you see Deathstroke salsa dance or teaching a salsa class.
he's been around for a minute. This would have been worst case scenario for the business based on now what we're getting with the sequel to Joker.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was just gonna say I like Todd Phillips. I don't think he's amazing. I like him, but like I don't see him in this role whatsoever.
So
I wanted
I'm
to
the
go
only
back
one
to
here.
doing like I wanted to go back and do like a comedy or like a sort of like a dramedy or something like that. Like,
Am I the only one here that saw Joker 2 yet?
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
seeing it Sunday.
I'm not going to talk spoilers, but I have to tell you about my experience seeing this today. So we'll talk about that in a moment.
I've pretty
Did you fall
universally
asleep?
just heard bad things from you.
Somebody asked about this earlier, but we've got our first look at Nicolas Cage and Spider-Man Noir, which apparently is just not going to have Spider-Man in it. I'm guessing is what they're saying. It's going to be.
Well, he's not wearing the mask, which is, he's a detective.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to do all the stuff that we are used to
So
seeing
that-
Spider-Man Noir doing.
It didn't even
except for
occur to
being
me. It's
Spider-Man.
live action. I just assumed it'd be
Yeah.
animated.
I wish it was animated. No,
I mean,
offense.
even without the
looking at this,
suit,
I'm like, oh,
even without the suit, he still has like powers. So you got kind of like he can do like without the suit.
I don't know if that's been confirmed.
Or
I'm-
like he has the technology to swing.
Yeah. I'm saying he might have technology, but I don't think it's been confirmed that he has powers.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed they're leaking this image and it's not even like a partial suit or something like that. Just him.
If
It
they
could be in any movie.
if they do to this what they did with what they were going to do with Silk, I'm going to be really mad.
mate, you know what they need to do?
It'll just
We
be a
need,
dream sequence of him in powers. Then
we need an LA noir movie. We need like more noir stuff because like the fucking last noir movie I remember watching was fucking shit. Black Dahlia, remember that was ass.
What
I
they
know
were
everyone
going to
saw
do
that.
with like Silk is have like a
So-
Silk 2 show without Silk.
So it says here the actual logline synopsis for the Spider-Man Noir series says it tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator in 1930s New York who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero criminal.
Oh
crime
god! So it's retired superhero reflecting on
Yeah.
his past and has to just.
So Black Lightning.
Not even that. It's probably not even going to be that good. I mean, I don't think we're going to see him in the suit. I
Maybe
think
the finale.
anytime we see him as Spider-Man Noir, it's going to be in some sort of a flashback or
Yeah.
him remembering his life as a superhero.
Or it's going to be the final 2 episodes.
I don't think so. I think being retired means he's not going to put the suit on.
Well, I mean, even retired, they seem to come out of it.
I hope you're right. I don't think that's the case though, but we'll see.
Obviously, it won't be him, but because there's a stunt double going to be involved.
Well, I think he does a really good voice for the character. I don't necessarily
Yeah.
think he needed to be the character in the show. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
That's just my. All right, here we go. According to a new, okay, these are the grain of salt time moments. Now we're going to go through some rumors. According to a new plot leak, Bucky will have a small cameo appearance in Captain America: Brave New World.
I mean, I'm not surprised by this one.
Yeah, I was going to say
I
this
mean-
is probably like one of those. I'm just guessing because
Yeah, it's
Well,
a
it also-
random
it
guess,
sounds like
but
one that you'd
it's
expect.
50-50, I'd say. There's a solid chance of it. It makes sense.
I mean, it does make sense if they want to tie in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, I mean,
And
look, go ahead, Bob.
I could give him a little teaser for Thunderbolts coming out, too.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It could be at the very end to where he goes, there's been some sort of like mix or whatever with the heroes that he has to go like track down.
I actually think it might be something as simple as like a phone call. They might just be on a video call together or something.
Hey, can
like
you
that.
help me? Oh, I'm busy with Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I mean, it could be
Yeah.
it could be Bucky announcing, because my theory is in the Thunderbolts that Bucky has retired as a hero. He's not a hero. He's not doing anything. That's what I think. That's why they see him washing his arm in the dishwasher. I think he's literally just not doing it anymore, and they have to bring him out of it. And I think that the conversation in this might be Sam talking to Bucky about his retirement. That's what I think could be going on. But
what would make him actually come out of retirement? Like, I don't think he has a. I don't think he has like a tie to one of the Avengers, people that are there.
In Thunderbolts, I think they're probably all going to get dragged into it. I don't think they're going to.
I think it's gonna be like a Suicide Squad thing, right, Bob? Like they're probably getting like
probably
blackmailed
something
into it.
like that.
Wait,
yeah.
did he have a scene with Julia at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
That was John. That was a U.S. agent.
Oh.
But the thing about it is, it looks like in Thunderbolts they're sending Winter Soldier after them.
So so John's the trigger for him. It would be the trigger for him.
I don't know, but based on what we know of the Winter Soldier, like the brainwashed version of Bucky, other than maybe Ghost, I think he could kick everybody's ass on the Thunderbolts. Like, I don't see any issue with that as him as the Winter Soldier, because he was beating Captain America most of the time.
And Iron Man.
Yeah.
if it's a more faithful Taskmaster, that could be a hell of a fight.
It could be.
My gosh.
I think Ghost and Taskmaster will be the only ones that could really put up a fight, because I actually think Bucky could beat most of the other characters. Definitely Yelena as Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the fight about Black Widow and him, and just like.
Oh yeah. That was funny.
That was funny.
But like, if you think about it, Winter Soldier, when Bucky was brainwashed, he was almost unstoppable.
Yeah, he was
Like
like
if you go back and you watch those movies,
kinda
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Because he was laser focused. His mind was trained to only focus on the task he was doing, so there was no distractions whatsoever. And I think that's what makes him so dangerous. And when he goes back into that brainwashing in Thunderbolts, if that's truly what's going to be going on, he's going to be very dangerous against all of those other characters. So
I think it's kind of like, they try to. It feels like they're backpedaling because they fixed it. Like
no, I don't think it's going to be the same brainwashing. I don't think this is going to be the.
So it might be a temporary situation.
Yeah, I think it's the government using some sort of thing on him to brainwash him, because he's already been brainwashed in the past.
He's going to be pissed at the government.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Which is probably how he ends up siding with Thunderbolts. That's probably how he ends up on their side because of what happens. Because I think Valentina is going to be the one that set this all.
It would really be like, he might like go after the president if the president was the one that issued it.
Well, Harrison, that's what a lot of people have said, but in all of the synopsis, it says that Yelena is going to be the leader. So, I don't know.
I'm still expecting Zemo to have some sort of cameo or role in it.
I want his dance.
I don't see
move
how
back.
you do Thunderbolts not involve Zemo when you already have a Zemo introduced. I just don't.
Just
see
like
it.
have Zemo just dance on screen, going like, "Let's
Yeah.
go."
All right, the next rumor got community noted here, and this is about Zolo from Blue Beetle here and Karate Kid Cobra Kai show. Got community noted because there's been no actual official listing on this, but apparently he's been cast in the Nova series. And thoughts on this one? Because they're saying he could play Sam Alexander.
I
It'd
mean,
be crazy
I don't know
if he was was Nova actually.
It won't be. My mind won't go there, but I mean, I think he's kind of proven himself to be a good, charismatic lead. I'm game.
And with the cool thing about like this is like he has been like in Cobra Kai, so he has that like fighting acting that he's done. Like,
I mean, he did good in Blue Beetle. So
Yeah.
I mean, he has good like ways to fight on screen. So like if they wanted like a karate expert, he could like technically be Iron Fist because he has that. I'm not saying he is Iron Fist. I'm just saying like if they were to cast someone, they would go with someone that can fight.
Yeah, well, the only thing
On
I think
screen.
about this is, regardless of who he's cast as in this, if this is true, this means the Blue Beetle will not be coming back in the DCU. There's no way they would have him sharing. So
I'm disappointed, but I
Harris.
won't be shocked by that. That movie did very poorly, which is a shame. Blue Beetle's totally decent, guys. You should just go watch it.
Yes, it's a good movie. But it's, again, I don't know if it fits in with, like, it's very clear that James Gunn has this, like, age, like, differentiation between, like, where he wants the classic characters to be and where the up-and-comers need to be. And I think with Blue Beetle, we have the whole Ted Kord thing, which they were teasing for the second movie. They could have tied that into the DCU because he's already established that, but it doesn't look like they're going that direction.
I think when we will see Blue Beetle again, it's not a solo movie. It's actually a team-up movie with Booster Gold.
Well, 100%. I feel like that would be the best place to put him. But if he is cast in a Marvel property, he's definitely not going to be Blue Beetle. There's no way. They wouldn't do
Or maybe the
depends.
contract depends on the contract because
Well, yeah.
he may actually be allowed to do other franchises because of Gunn's relationship with Kevin Feige. So
I was just gonna say
yeah.
it's possible in Nova he has a lesser role, like he's not gonna be a major character. In which case, I could
That
see him
too.
continuing as Blue Beetle.
Maybe. This is another, like, rumor. Logan Kim has been reportedly cast as Amadeus Cho in the MCU. This is from Daniel RPK.
what's that character again?
It's the newer version of the Hulk.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a second.
Oh, is it that son of the Hulk thingy?
No, that's a different character.
Oh, yeah.
This was a Hulk that took over shortly. Well, I don't say shortly after Hulk kind of left the Marvel Comics landscape, but he's just another in the Hulk family. Put it that way. He's just another Hulk, basically. But he's one that doesn't lose intelligence. He's as smart as the Hulk as he is when he's normal.
So he's basically as smart as Smart Hulk.
So that was one of his covers there for his series. A lot of people have been asking for this character, but I'll put it this way. The only reason they would do this, honestly, is if they wanted to start making Hulk movies again without Bruce Banner. Because I think that's ultimately what they want to do. They want to have another Hulk franchise. And, they can't. That's the one character they really don't have control over.
The design of the Hulk in the 2008, 10, Edward Norton's Hulk, that was awesome, and they kind of went backwards with him.
Well, that's actually still canon. I mean, those characters are still part of the MCU. It's just he looks
That's
different.
what's funny about it, because I'm like, what happened? Did he demorph or something?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
too many
like the overall
tacos?
design, but what always bugged me about is it didn't look enough like Edward Norton, and I kind of appreciate how Mark Ruffalo kind of looked like his Hulk. I guess I just want more of a mix. More.
I kind of like the fact that it looked like the guy who voices Hulk too. Like, you can definitely see that there's
Lou
two different
Ferrigno?
personalities. Yeah, Lou. I think his name is Lou. It's kind of like you can definitely, because if Hulk is like a different personality from Bruce Banner, you can't say Bruce Banner is the Hulk. The Hulk is the Hulk, not Bruce Banner. It's kind of makes sense that they don't look like each other until like Smart Hulk.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is also his technology's gotten better, so I think that's
Yeah.
why it looks better now. But
it looks better now.
no, but I'm saying, like, if you go back to the 2003, the Ang Lee,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
terrible.
that one looks really bad now. It doesn't
And if
hold
you
up
go back
very
to
much.
the Incredible Hulk, that even looked worse. It was just another actor,
Yeah.
aka Lou.
So we're going to move on here to Agatha All Along, and we got a few different things about this. This, again, Daniel RPK, so take it with a grain of salt. Marvel Studios is reportedly developing a new Disney Plus series that will focus on finding the Scarlet Witch's other son. Now, keep in mind, they have not confirmed in the show that it's Billy. So that's not been officially confirmed in the show. So this is, again, is a rumor based on the speculation of who that character will be. Tommy Shepard Speed. It will serve as a direct follow-up sequel series to the WandaVision and Agatha All Along. Maybe, possibly. The reason why I say possibly is based on the next story we're going to talk about, which seems to be the way they're refocusing the finances of the TV shows and what that could mean moving forward. But would we want to see another series connected to this, like, WandaVision world that we have on...
I'm not against it, but I thought we were doing a Vision series too, and obviously that'd be connected as well. I'd rather hear more about that.
It's still planned. I mean, they said it's still planned, so
Did they like? I've been having this like weird like memory that it was titled Vision Quest. Was that?
it's still yeah. That was the
Okay.
title because that was from the comic. And here we go. The next thing we have here is Agatha All Along is officially, now this isn't a rumor, this is from an article, there's 2 different quotes here. Agatha All Along is officially the least expensive show Marvel Studios has made to date. Frankly, it gives us a bit more freedom creatively when we can bring them in at a reasonable budget, says Marvel's Brad Winterbaum.
It's just a little smoke around the hands. That's all it is.
Well, the thing about it is I think they're just being smarter about where they spend their money.
Well,
I think,
yeah,
go ahead.
It's also like they're building like they're using the same internal sets and stuff and like just tweaking them here and there and stuff, and that just saves you so much money. Like you think about WandaVision, they're like they were using like I'm assuming it was a real life estate that they were using when they were filming.
Yeah.
And like they only used that for the first episode. I don't think we've seen it since. I don't think so, at the very least. So and like it's a lot of internal, like it's filmed like a sitcom. So I mean, you'd have to assume so. And it's not using any ridiculous... It's using a lot of, like, practical stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, they're using a lot of, like... I mean, I'm caught up. You might be fucking shocked to hear that. I caught up yesterday with it.
with Agatha? Yeah.
No, with WandaVision. What do you think, Eric? Turn the
I
brain
probably
on.
got up with WandaVision.
Yeah, but just a few years late. I think the show's actually, like... interesting because it feels a bit unique, but at the same time I feel like it's like a lot of the stuff that happens in the episode is just to sort of build up to something that happens directly right at the end. That's my only sort of criticism, but I feel like that's just because they don't want to give away a lot of the surprises and stuff like that.
You have to remember,
it feels like there's a lot of
Paige,
surprises
WandaVision
coming.
is what spawned the whole like this character means this and this picture means that, and like that all started from that show because there was so much random stuff in the episodes that there were so many rumors floating around.
What episode were they were definitely mocking some? Was it meant to be like Desperate Housewives or like the Real Housewives shows?
I mean, they did a lot of mocking of stuff on
When like they get to like the, I was gonna say lip filler, but it's more than that. It's like ridiculous Botox, plastic surgery.
Wait, are you talking about Agatha or WandaVision?
Agatha. Why would I be talking about WandaVision?
Because you just said you were caught up with WandaVision.
Oh fuck me, Eric.
All right, it says Marvel's Brad Winterbaum says the more budget-conscious approaches to Agatha All Along certainly holds true with Daredevil and our future slate as we look down.
I can tell you this, Jose. I caught up with Agatha. I haven't watched a minute or a second of the Penguin, so that's where I'm at the moment.
Well, the viewership numbers dropped a lot. I don't know if you saw that or not. So
I saw something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Penguin went down from like 6. It was like a little over 5 million to 1.6 or something. So yeah, but it says here that Daredevil also had a smaller budget. Makes sense. Daredevil's a street level character. Wouldn't be super expensive. And that's what their future slate's going to look down the pike at 26 and 27. So what I suspect we're going to see is more street level stories, more personal stories, characters that aren't those big CG. Like She-Hulk's the biggest issue with She-Hulk in terms of budget was having to use a CGI character every single week on the show. And
because she really liked being She-Hulk.
Right. Well, in the comics she does too. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's
she
why
does it like all the time in
sense.
the comic books.
Yeah. So it didn't make any sense. And I'm like, how are we going to do a show? And this was one of my worries before She-Hulk even came out. How are we going to do a show with her as She-Hulk every single week on a TV budget? It just didn't make any sense to me. And ever since then, we've seen these like ballooning budgets for TV shows and movies. And so I'm excited to see that Marvel is looking at Agatha and going, people like this. It's inexpensive. We're having a good time making it. We can do Daredevil on the same budget. Guess what? They could probably do all of the Netflix characters on that same budget. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, all of them could be done on a much smaller budget. Why not just continue those stories? I think everybody would be happy with another season from all of those characters. You know, except
I'm
for
okay
Iron
if they
Fist,
reboot Iron Fist, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I say except for Iron Fist.
bring it back.
But I
definitely
love
want
Luke
Jessica
Cage, and
Jones
Luke Cage
back.
set up a really good third
Luke
season
Cage
that we
is
never
good
got.
too,
If
yeah.
they ever do bring back Iron Fist, I really want a like show that doesn't require like the entire Iron Fist pissed me off because he would not use the Iron Fist, the thing he's called for, until the last possible second. Like, what are you waiting for? A power up?
Because that showrunner was not good. We've already established the showrunner of that first season was not a good
I
showrunner.
think you loved that particular showrunner.
No, I hate it. Scott Buck is his name. Scott Buck is the worst showrunner. He did the Inhumans as well. Not good.
You
Not a
went
good
to the
showrunner.
Inhumans IMAX premiere. You must have loved it.
Fatman points out, seeing the recent Forbes report of Acolyte being $230 million now, I hope Lucasfilms takes note of this. The only issue with Star Wars, and this is why it's such a big problem, is it's really hard for them to do street level stories because of how much money, how much VFX and stuff they have to spend money on, and that's the problem.
So George Lucas had been wanting to do a live action Star Wars forever, and the big issue for him was just getting the budget down to something reasonable.
Yeah.
Never happened while he owned it. Never.
What he had in store was actually pretty awesome. Like that was what I was looking for. You know, having a Jedi series.
Here we go. Brad Winterbaum says Agatha All Along has the best continuation rate among the Marvel series on Disney Plus. The haters are going to really be mad about this one. Continuation rate refers to the percentage of people who continued watching the series after the premiere, meaning that out of every single show that has been on Marvel, all of them, the most people kept coming back for Agatha All Along. So,
and now, would you say like they're hate watching it?
No, definitely not.
Cool, because
no.
that was
There's a lot of people at this point. I think the hate watchers have turned into I'm just going to watch the chuds watch stuff, and then I'll listen to what they have to say because they're not going to go on Disney Plus to do that.
So. I swear, some of the chuds don't even watch it. They bring up a freaking Park Place article and then just talk about that. It's like this. It's literally a human centipede of garbage takes.
Right. Or they'll look at clips. They'll look at clips on the internet and decide everything they need to know about it. Agatha All Along, as much as they wanted to act like nobody asked for it, a lot of people wanted it. A lot of people wanted it. People that watch WandaVision love this character. You have to remember, Agatha was the breakout character. That's a character that didn't come from the movies.
Nobody knew who Agatha was before that series, and now she's like a big character that has her own series.
Yeah. So, they're going to hate that. Plus, we have here, The Ballad of Witches Road from Agatha All Along debuts at number 22 on Billboard Digital Song Sales. The Agatha All Along song from WandaVision debuted at number 36. So the song from this show was actually more popular than Agatha All Along, which came out on a arguably bigger show.
They had a little freak out over that song, too, and I was like, do you guys remember WandaVision, where she had a song? Yes.
The show is named after that song. The show is named after that song. It didn't make any sense. But then they had a show on this week's a song on this week's episode that also is doing really well, that people are listening to on Spotify and YouTube and stuff like that. The reality is, I think that this show broke them because they don't understand the fan base for this show. I don't think they understand the people that are watching this want musical numbers. They want this kind of TV. This is what they tune in for every single week. And so I have not seen the kind of discussion around a Marvel show outside of the fandom that I've seen with Agatha All Along.
I'm trying to imagine a song just popping out on Secret Wars. That would be funny.
I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
It's kind of an offshoot, but I was just going to bring up the Marvels had that musical Planet. And my issue with that wasn't that like that existed. My issue was, let's do more with this. This is a fun idea. Let's do more with it. They just drop it really quickly. And it's like, do more with it,
think the Marvels, even though as good as it was, I think what killed that movie is the really weird editing choices and the things that come out of the movie. I think that was probably the big problem. So.
Someone just said Dr. Doom's rap. So
right. But see, that's the thing is, I think Agatha All Along is dialing in to the fans of Marvel who also like musicals, who also like Broadway. And in a lot of ways, this show did everything that the Joker sequel didn't do, which is it never lied about what it was. It was very honest about what kind of show it was going to be through all the promotions. We knew it was going to be campy. We knew it was going to be silly. We knew that it was going to have a lot of fun moments. We knew that these characters were going to be singing. All of this was going to be present in it. Something that the Joker sequel tried to hide. There's reports of people getting up and leaving the theaters because they did not realize that Joker 2 was a musical. So,
oh, really? I'm not going to... Well, that's a good point, because I just realized none of the trailers, I think, have a musical number.
No, and Lady Gaga actually said it wasn't a musical. It's not a musical. It's just a... I think it was either her or Todd Phillips said that it's not a musical. It is a movie that tells stories through songs. And I'm like, isn't that
that's the definition of a fucking musical?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how they do the musical, as last week DJ Eric said, they basically jump cut. It's not a musical.
No, I did see it today, and it is disjointed as fuck. And we're going to talk about it when we get there. We're going to talk about it when we get to that. So, all right, Ahsoka season 2 is happening with showrunner Dave Filoni starting production next year. So I thought this was pretty exciting. I enjoyed Ahsoka season 1, and I'm really sad that Balin's not going to be the same actor, but I'm pretty sure they're going to bring him back recast. Yeah. But I don't think it was a perfect series, but I absolutely loved it. You think so, a mask? You think they'll do that?
Yeah, I think they're going to do that so they honor his character.
Well, maybe. It's possible. Paige, did you watch this? Did you watch Ahsoka season 1?
I watched it. I don't have a vivid memory of watching it, but I know I watched it.
That's right. Yeah.
I think it was one of those ones where it was like just in one brain cell out the other.
The space whales traveling to another galaxy.
When you mention shit like that, like the thing that I can only like the specific thing I remember from it is the episode with the flashbacks with her character.
Oh, sure.
And that weird temple on the side of the cliff or whatever it was.
So you don't remember Anakin?
Well, that was the flashbacks.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, I meant like him, like basically in the present, like turning into Darth Vader, and
Well, he said if you mention it, he remembers it, but he doesn't remember it on his own. So it's like.
Well, you're welcome.
But also, THR analysis coming in 2026. The Mandalorian and Grogu will probably perform well. Yet it also looks like Disney spent many years in untold capital struggling to develop a new Star Wars movie, and its best idea was an extra long episode of a TV show. And we're not going to read this whole article. I've read all these articles, but I will talk about like what. Basically, they're saying that the shows like Obi-Wan and stuff like that felt like just long, drawn-out versions of movies.
I will say, like, movies. I think the reason why they did that is so they can have like a break, so people are like, after the sequels happened, they just took a little break and focused on the TV and then come back to the movies.
Yeah, but I think that wasn't their intention. Like their intention was to make the movies, and they just kept getting delayed or cancelled or whatever it was. So if the intention was there, then it's fair enough. But that wasn't the intention.
I think part of the intention was there.
Obi-Wan Kenobi was kind of a blatant. They pushed it to Disney Plus because they wanted people to subscribe to Disney Plus because it was still a new beginning service.
100%.
It was actually originally intended to be a movie, but it
should have been. I think and the same with the Acolyte. The Acolyte would have worked tenfold better as a movie because you take it all that ass that was in it. Like, let's be honest, there was a lot of filler.
There was a couple of episodes where I was like, this could have been like something else.
Like some of that stuff that wasn't great in the show probably still would have been in the movie, but it would have been done different.
It would have been shorter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I think it's crazy because we talked about this on the showcast when we were talking about Star Wars movies. The last Star Wars movie was 2017, wasn't it?
No, 2019.
2019. So it's been 5 years since the last Star Wars movie. Well, that seems like a long time to not have a Star Wars movie.
Wait, hold on. What? 2003 was 2005 was the last Revenge of the Sith. So, it was longer.
No, but I'm saying since Disney has taken over making the Star Wars.
But that was also, there wasn't like they were planning and saying, we got movies coming out after 2005.
Yeah, so the thing is, Star Wars, I mean, when Disney took over making Star Wars content, it was supposed to be a more consistent, schedule of movies.
I think they even announced their plans to do a movie a year, and that's how come it was essentially Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, Rise of Skywalker, and then stuff.
And then they announced the Lando spin-off and all those other things, and then the Ryan Johnson trilogy, which I assume would be once every 3 years or something.
Yeah, we've gotten plenty of the series, but there hasn't been any.
I do have to think. Do you think that Knives Out became what the Star Wars Ryan Johnson trilogy was going to be?
I mean, maybe, possibly, yeah. Star Wars Knives Out. That would have been great.
I would love to see LeBlanc in Star Wars.
I think one of the biggest issues with the Star Wars shows is we don't have movies to balance them out. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows and no movies. Throw us a bone. We should have had at least one Star Wars movie since 2019.
Yes,
I feel like.
Absolutely.
What was the closest one to get going that didn't turn into a series? They got canned. Would it have to be I would say the Patty Jenkins one, just because she said she was writing the script.
Was that the Squadron one? I think it's back in development too.
It's back in I think like
It's-
low development or whatever they call
Last
it.
I
like-
heard, it
not
struggled
canceled.
just because of the name Rogue Squadron, and it's too similar to Rogue One. But
The
it's like
one-
it's its own thing, guys. It's its own.
The one I actually wanted to see was the one that was a Cara Dune like spinoff.
Well, that was the one Eric was looking forward to the most.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
You were? Oh,
Yes,
no.
100%. 100%. But we also have some good news about Star Wars. Disney reportedly made $1 billion just in Star Wars merchandise sales last year.
I wonder if they have like a
Jesus.
pie graph to break that down into just lightsabers, just people buying.
I have no clue, but people wonder why they don't care as much about the quality of some of their shows. They're making billions of dollars off of just merch. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for your contribution to Disney.
so
I mean, think of all those really expensive lightsabers people get, or that
Well-
have to get licensed by Disney. That's
well,
gotta
even-
be a lot of money. Jeez.
Lego, like they'd get a split
oh,
of the
that's
Lego.
Yeah.
true.
Like
Yeah.
all the Star Wars, like and Legos, they stick it up your bum, don't they?
Okay, let me tell you, I did not know, completely off topic, but not totally off topic. I didn't know how expensive Lego sets were until we have a new Lego store that just opened.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I went into that Lego store and I was going to buy a few Lego sets, and I was like, oh my God, the prices have gone through the fucking roof.
I didn't realize
Oh,
that
yeah,
until
they're
it was Christmas last year, and I was like, oh, I'll buy my sister a Lego, so just something to like build while watching TV or
I
something
think-
over Christmas or something. And I went in there, and I was planning on like buying like a decent one, something that take you like an hour or two to make or something like that. And then I saw that it was fucking $180, and I was like, oh. No, not getting
I
that.
think the,
a rose,
your-
I think it was like a Lego rose with a vase, and that cost me about 60 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's gonna take 2 minutes to build. What's
I think
going on?
normal Legos like that don't have like craftsmanship on it is lesser than like.
Yeah, but no one fucking buys it. Who's buying
It's
a
all
random yellow
fairly
Lego
expensive.
brick?
No,
Yeah.
well, I mean like there's more detail in the ones you have to like create for collectibles
Like, isn't the Death Star like?
than
Isn't like the Death Star like just under $1,000 or something?
Oh
like
my
that?
God, I didn't even see that one in the store, to be
The
honest.
Death Star is like, and you have to like put it on lay-by because it's so popular. So it's not like it's just expensive and no one's buying it. It's selling out.
850.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
By the way, Lego Superstar Destroyer, just under 2K.
Oh my God.
So we in the entryway to our house or whatever, when you come in the door, we have a glass case, and we got a bunch of those like Lego flowers, so we don't have to water them or take care of them. So we built a bunch of those and put them in the glass case. It's actually really cool. But we got them as a gift. I didn't know how expensive they were. So when we went you go into the next room, there's a table in there, like a little craft table, and I wanted to put those Lego flowers in a Lego vase on the table. And when I looked at the prices of those, it was like $50 just for the flowers. And I was like,
Ridiculous.
oh my God, the Lego flowers are $50. So I'm not shocked that the Star Wars stuff in Legos is super expensive. But here's the deal. This is why when they say Star Wars is dead, how does a dead franchise make $1 billion in merchandise sales without a movie even coming out?
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense.
they can basically not make a movie and still make $1 billion.
Exactly. That's the thing. They wonder why Disney doesn't sweat like when a show doesn't perform well. They're making billions of dollars.
Well, it becomes really easy when you have hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of fans who will just take everything you say as gospel and regurgitate it all over the place.
True. 100%.
Speaking of merchandise,
Checking's not important.
I don't know if you saw it, Eric. Did you see that the Grimace Shake is now in Australia?
Oh no, are you gonna try one?
No, I don't really. It doesn't look very appealing.
I
no,
thought
I-
you were gonna get a Pizza Hut Venom pizza. And eat
No,
it on
I
stream.
wasn't. I didn't realize you were going to be streaming again on Friday. If I get a Pizza Hut Venom jizz, black jizz
Oh god.
pizza, it's going to be on beginning of next week.
Okay.
Speaking of like Star Wars, I think they do need to have like the Bible.
We're going
like,
to say something worse than I think.
No.
Speaking of jizz,
you know the Marvel Bible where it so they don't like like continuity errors and stuff.
Well, Dave
I think-
Filoni is supposed to be that person. He's supposed to be the guy
yeah.
keeping all the lore in place.
He, like people are saying like they screwed up like Anakin's birth. I'm like, it's not special.
Well,
I'm like,
The issue
can't
is
be the
there.
only one.
okay, Bob had a discussion with somebody the other day called the Backseater, where they were talking about this, right? I know the name.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
funny.
sauce.
This guy's been in my comments, like making the dumbest comments. But the issue is a lot of the older fans don't want to let go of the expanded lore. They don't want to let go of that expanded universe. And Disney's made it very clear that their projects moving forward aren't going to always line up with some of those expanded things. They actually had a little, I think they released it. I don't remember, Bob, maybe you do. They released like a statement on what they would consider to be canon and what was non-canon in their universe.
I don't remember. I ended up looking it up after that debate. It was pretty much everything that was a movie and the Clone Wars, the new animated series, not the original one.
Right, the original. It's weird because they're named the same, but they're two different things.
Yeah.
But because I went back and I watched it, and I kept getting different things, and I'm like, wait, which one is right? I had to figure out which one was the right one. But the argument is there's a lot of people that like that expanded content that Disney doesn't, is just ignoring. So it's hard sometimes when you are a fan of something where they're like, we're just throwing this out the window, which is probably why so many people get mad about reboots in the comics whenever they have like a massive reboot, like the New 52 or Crisis on Infinite Earths or one of those, because you throw out some of that lore so that it streamlines your stories. If Disney Star Wars came in and they wanted to pull in new fans, there's a lot of that adjacent expanded universe that fans are just not going to read, they're not going to know about, and it just doesn't matter to them. And I think that's really what it is. And I know that sucks for people that love that expanded content, but they made $1 billion on merch, so I don't think it was necessarily a bad decision on their part. You know what I mean?
I think it's kind of like a good. I think with Rey, you kind of get this new Jedi Council, right? The past can be thrown out the window because they're all dead. So they can start this new one with their own lore.
Well, one of the things that I was hoping we were going to get with Ahsoka was when they traveled to the adjacent galaxy to do everything they were going to do, that would introduce this new galaxy with new lore that we could explore without having all that baggage from the existing Star Wars universe. Because if you have a new galaxy, it doesn't matter what you do because it's new. There's new aliens, there's new heroes, there's new things going on. But I don't think that's what they're going to do because they obviously, spoiler alert, at the end of that series, I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time in that galaxy. But I like that idea because it takes the control out of like nostalgia bait, which is what I think a lot of people hold on to.
I think it would be funny is if they're basically the people that we like in like video games are actually in the other galaxy.
Oh, from the Star Wars video games?
Yeah, we had Star Killer.
Like Kyle, one of the characters has been retconned out of the the
and Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
They're just like in another galaxy that's totally different from ours, and they bring them in.
Yeah. So I did a whole video on this earlier today on my Debunks channel if you want to go check it out, but I do want to talk about it briefly here. It's a long article. We're not going to read it. I'm going to give you guys just like the breakdown of what it is. So this came out from Variety earlier today. And it says, toxic fandoms have grown so powerful that while talent executives and publicists privately bemoan the issue, fear of triggering another backlash have kept several studios from speaking for this story. Now, there's a lot of quotes in this of people that did not want their names attached to it, probably because they don't want to get harassed by so many people with YouTube channels. I don't care. You can leave negative comments for me, but a lot of these people, we've said this before, Bob. Yeah. There's some people that just aren't built for this. Like, they don't want to be in the middle of it. They don't want to argue about it. I get it. You don't want to have people to send you death threats and stuff like that. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I'm used to harassment campaigns. That's usually days that end in Y for me.
Right. But basically, in this article, they break down sort of that Hollywood is aware of this loud vocal minority of toxic anti-fans. They're aware of them. But they thought the best course of action was to just ignore them, and we've already discovered you can't. That doesn't do it. Like, it doesn't get rid of them.
For what it's worth, I thought that was the best move for years, and then it just got too much.
Did you also see the fact that the studios are now like with consent, they're going to kind of go on the actors' profiles on Twitter and stuff like that to remove all this toxic stuff.
Yeah, I was aware of that. We were going to get to that in a second.
Oh, sorry.
You jumped ahead of me.
Future.
It's in this article. 3Dub he's time traveling to the end of the article.
I only have to see the article to know.
No, you probably Variety released a lot of quotes from this. That's probably where you saw that at. Was one of the quotes from Variety or whatever. See you later, Hero's Journey. So what they were saying is that they have boot camps. This is what 3Dub's talking about. These boot camps for actors and writers and directors that are coming into these franchises where they think they might get harassed. This is crazy. Let me just say, this is crazy that this even has to exist.
Yeah.
As I'm saying this to you. Boot camps for actors, writers, directors coming into projects to prepare them for the onslaught of negative social media responses to them simply working in these franchises. And as 3Dub was saying, literally taking over and scrubbing their social media so that they will not get harassed or they will minimize the harassment from people online. This is fucking crazy. This is crazy.
I also think it's a good idea because attacking kids is uncalled for.
That's why I'm worried about Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
When that show comes out, I don't even want to think about the disgusting fucking videos that are going to come out about these kids and these actors.
I would hope all those kids are off social media.
Well, it's really important to remember that we've got to think about the elephant kid as well. Like the elephant kid is.
You talked about this before. You talked about this before. He's already been targeted. What are you talking about? They've already talked about that.
Elephant kid confidence. Because
I know. But the fact that they even have to take these actors aside and go, by the way, you're going to get called racist things. You're going to get called sexist things. You're going to be called
Trump
DEI
boy,
and all this
Trump
other stuff.
face.
So,
it's just
yes, all those insults. It's just ridiculous they even have to deal with that. But then the worst part about this entire article is that their solution to the problem now is they want to gather together super fans to determine if something is going to be problematic so they can not deal with it or deal with it before it comes out on social media.
What defines a super fan? Does that define
exactly, Paigey? That's the point.
Does that define the person that glazes it on Twitter and gives it a 10 out of 10?
Exactly.
Or the person that's hating
Are you emergency awesome or are you nerdrotic? Which one is a super fan? I don't know.
Are you Eric with Marvel or Eric with DC? Like, it's just that thing that you really got to think about.
So the thing is, like, you have people like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and everybody screaming about this, right? They shouldn't be, because this is a win for them, because if you can manipulate this, they are essentially doing reverse DEI as super fans by going in and telling them not to make certain things, which is what it seems like this whole thing is about. And art by committee is never a good thing. I've never seen something with like 25 people, 30 people making something come out and be as good as something that has a much more narrow, singular, maybe a couple people's vision. So
I already know what it's going to be, and I don't think it's going to end up well. They're just going to get TikTokers. They're just going to they're going to scroll through TikTok. And
you're probably right.
It seems funny, but that's literally what it's going to be. They're
I think you're right.
I mean, that's
and they're going to pick a TikTok person or something that like.
I'm actually worried because of the fact that what I think of Superfan is stuck in the past, to where he likes the Star Wars, and Empire Strikes Back,
Well, that's what I mean is we don't know what the level of super. Are we talking about super fans of modern Disney Star Wars? Or are we talking about fans of the original Star Wars? We don't know.
Yeah, because their idea of a super fan might be like an influencer that gets invited to the movie premieres and stuff like that. But then, like as 3Dub saying, his idea is like, oh, well, there's a super fan like the person that might be complaining all the time because the product isn't what it was when they were younger and what they want it to be now. And that's what the hardest thing is, that like if you're gonna do that, you gotta set some parameters. Parameters in regards to what it is.
We're hitting on something that I wish was the biggest issue on YouTube right now, but like there is an issue with reviewers. These studios will handpick reviewers that they think will be favorable to their stuff. They fly them out to the premiere. They give them all this, fancy dinners and all that. They sit them down to this wonderful theater experience to watch this premiere, all geared to get a good review from it.
Yep.
That is an issue, and I wish that was the primary issue we had to deal with on YouTube. It's not.
Well, I think the bigger thing, Bob, is they shouldn't be running their business this way at all. Like they shouldn't be having people influence the creative people making their movies and TV shows. That doesn't make any sense.
Here's an idea. How about hire someone that actually loves Star Wars?
Exactly. Like that's the thing, is they had that Acolyte, regardless of whether or not people loved Acolyte, there were people involved with that production that loves Star Wars.
Dude,
That's the weird
Leslie
thing.
Headland was obviously a massive fan.
Yes. So it's just weird to me. Like this whole thing is weird. This is going to be a developing story. I actually think this article is going to do the exact opposite of what they wanted to do, which was to sort of hit back at the negative toxic fandom. Because now you're saying that you're going to listen to them, and you've decided to change your whole business model over them when you have all of these people, again, billions of dollars worth of fans that are into your shit.
Yeah.
But you're going to listen to the people that are not spending money on your properties.
Yeah.
These people are not buying Star Wars stuff. They're not watching the shows. They're not watching the movies. Why are you listening to them?
There are people who are literally making their money off outrage clicks. They're making money off the idea of hating whatever it is that comes out. Doesn't matter what you make. They'll find something to hate. It makes no sense to base your business around that.
I'm going to listen to the person that isn't buying my content, that isn't watching that would be like me running my YouTube channel based on people that never come into the show, never come to the live streams, never leave comments on my videos. Why would I gear my content around those people? That doesn't make any sense. They are not potential customers. Most of them are people that used to watch your content that don't watch it anymore and have no intention of ever watching it again. So there's no point in trying to do that.
That
There's
whole
no
thing
point in
about
catering to that.
balance is kind of funny now because they're going back, listening to the toxic people so they can bring the toxic people back. But then on the other side, the people that actually like your content is going to hate it.
Here's the thing, 3Dub. This is why that's a failure. Let me explain to you why. And everybody watching right now, I'm going to tell you why this is a failure. Number one, those people will never like anything that Disney makes in regards to Star Wars ever. It doesn't matter if they cater to them 100%. They will never, ever like it. Unless it is a Luke Skywalker with Mark Hamill. Well, they don't even like Mark Hamill now. So just,
I was about ready to say,
they're not going to like anything that they make, right? So it is a pointless thing to try and convince them. Secondly, I've had people in my comments on my videos say that they don't like anything that Disney makes with Star Wars, regardless of what it is. So you're not going to win those people over either. What you're going to do is they're going to alienate all the people that are spending $1 billion on merchandise, all the people that spent $4.4 billion on the sequels, and all the people that are watching the TV shows and subscribe to Disney Plus. You're going to tell them, we don't want your money. We want to listen to all the people who keep screaming on YouTube. And then those people are going to go away. They're not going to get business from either side, and that is going to kill them. You have to commit to one thing. You cannot try and please everybody. It is a pointless thing to do. It is completely pointless. You either do it one way or you do it the other. There's no middle of the road for this. We're talking about Disney, a company that's worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. This is dumb. This is completely dumb. And I can tell you now, anybody that comes out and says they've changed, like taken a woman out of something or decided to change the story so that less diversity is in it, the minute that comes out, it is going to be a major backlash to them. And they're going to lose the fans they built up for a while.
Can I ask one? Okay, so can you, off the top of your head, obviously it might be hard just in like 1 second, but like, can anyone think of a specific movie or TV show where this group would have helped the project for changing a certain thing?
No.
Off the top of your head, you can't think of anything.
You mean something that would have been successful that wasn't successful? Is that what you're saying?
Well, just like something that was divisive, whether it means it changes the fortunes of the show. Like, that's another question.
No.
They wouldn't have hired a group for that.
No. I can't think of anything this would have helped with. No.
The Flash?
No. You're talking about something nobody complained about. The most popular things to complain about are Star Wars and Marvel. So it'd be one of those two things.
No, well, I was talking about the movie. Ezra.
Yeah, but still, DC is so far down on the list of like popular
DC.
Yeah.
I wish DC was giving Marvel more competition. My God.
Because, well, also, Paige, it's really vague about what they plan on doing. They're talking about preemptively doing something, so it would be hard to know. Like,
so they're doing it
like
like before they even start filming the thing, but just like something that can be written on paper and be like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work, and it can turn out great, and then it can be the other way. It looks good.
Inhumans.
Turns out like crap.
Okay, 3Dub, you've won. Let's move on to the next topic. 3Dub just completely changed it. Inhumans would have been completely different. Yeah. All right, let's talk about this right here. I want to refresh this page because I want to see where it's at now on Rotten Tomatoes.
It was at 30s last I saw.
39% on Rotten Tomatoes without any fan reception yet from the popcorn meter. I don't know when that's going to pop up, but I don't like using
the end of the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not using Rotten Tomatoes as a gauge for my personal opinion. I just like to show this while we talk about it.
Yeah.
So I went and saw Joker. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I was just gonna say Rotten Tomatoes is great to just kind of gauge kind of the general opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah. You
I would
always
also
have to
say
judge
that
yourself if you want to know.
Yeah, and I would also say that the critic score is usually different from the audience score in the way that they're there looking for specific things as critics, so it's going to be a different outcome. But critic scores are usually a lot less manipulated than the fan scores. So, but let me just put this here. Like, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
I was just going to add that, I usually agree with the critic score more reliably, maybe like 80% of the time. Usually about there with the critics.
So I went and saw this, and I fell asleep at a certain point in the first
I guessed it.
Yeah. This movie, unfortunately, how do I put this? Again, there's not a lot of spoilers, so there's not a ton to spoil in this, but the first hour and some change of this movie is so utterly boring. The musical numbers kind of come in here and there. It feels like they cut out a bunch of content with Lady Gaga. I don't know what else was supposed to be in there, but she feels literally like an accessory to Arthur in the movie. And no shocker, because I said this before the movie even came out, almost every scene of him as the Joker is the musical stuff. The rest of it is kind of just him as him, as
without the
Arthur.
makeup.
I saw another description of this movie, and it sounds more and more like that Seinfeld thing, that comparison. The Seinfeld comparison seems even more crazier. I have to, Eric, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, after seeing it, do you think that Todd Phillips may have binged Seinfeld during COVID and come up with the idea for
you know what my opinion of this is? I think Todd Phillips wanted to make sure that that DC never asked him to do anything ever again. That's the vibe I got from this. I don't want to spoil the ending, but let me just give you guys a general idea of what the movie tries to do at the beginning, because it isn't really too much of a spoiler. So the big thing in the movie is this trial of the Joker. We see it in all the previews. We know that he's going on trial for what he's done. And what they're trying to argue is that the Joker and Arthur are two different people. Like, there's a split personality going on. And the only issue with that argument, and it's very apparent to me at the very beginning, is we saw the first movie.
Yeah.
So we know that that's not the case.
Yeah.
So when they're spending the first hour and some change of the movie trying to convince us that that is the case, it doesn't work because we already know it's not true.
Yeah.
So just again offshoot a little bit, but the Disgusting Film released like an audio clip or a musical clip from this movie.
Yeah, I've got it here to watch. If you want to watch it.
And I'll wait then.
If it's the one that they just released today, we're gonna watch it after this. Right here, so
I have thoughts because it's like
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will say we'll watch that. It'll probably get removed, so if you're watching this on playback, it might not be here, but the clip is online if you want to go watch it. I don't usually say this because I don't like to agree with Rotten Tomatoes most of the time, but I think this score is pretty accurate of what the movie was for me. It was not... I will never, ever watch this movie again. I can't imagine most people were leaving. In the theater that I was in, people were getting up and leaving, and I think a lot of them were doing it because that first hour was so fucking boring that they just could not sit through any more of the movie. So,
and you might be able to make the case of the split personality as long as you make it clear in the movie that like it's fake, but like just trying to make that case genuine. No, we know that's bullshit. No.
Well, the thing is, we saw in the first movie, the great thing about the first movie was the character study. We followed the break as it was happening, as he was changing, and we know very clearly that his character wasn't two different people. It was him, and that was the point. The point of this version of the Joker was that this was a person that suffered this crisis, and they turn into what the Joker is by the end of that first movie. And that's what made it such a great movie, right? It was this amazing downfall of a human in society. It didn't need a sequel. And I hate to say this because you know how I feel about this. Not asking like who asked for this or whatever, but I have to ask the question, what would the sequel didn't serve anything to that first movie. It literally was an extended version of an epilogue. It just wasn't. There wasn't a lot here. And when you see the movie, without spoiling it, because I'm not going to spoil how the movie starts out, where the movie ends, and Paigey, by the way, that spoiler is true. The spoiler that you saw about the end of the movie, it is true. So where we start out in the movie and where we end in the movie is literally, it could have been that scene, that beginning scene, and the end of the movie. So when you're watching it, just remember, as you're watching through the movie, it's gonna circle back around, and you're gonna question like why you even watched the movie in the first place. It's
So
really bad.
something that just startled me when I looked at it and realized, look at the runtime on this thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think it earned it. I mean, I
Okay.
haven't seen it, but I really don't think it. The first one wasn't nearly that long. What the hell?
Yeah. All right, let's watch the musical clip. This is probably going to get taken out. I had to drop it out because here we go. Now this is the clip of one of the musical sequences. It's not a spoiler because you don't know where it takes place in the movie, but
it's released for promotion of the movie.
yeah.
Keep that in mind watching this.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let me bring this up. It's a very short clip. It's like a minute. All right. Here we go. And here we are. All right.
That's the
So-
entire song.
Yeah, that's the scene.
I doubt
yeah.
that's. But so watching that, like, I was like, okay, if that, like, in context, that might be fine. But why would you release that in promotion for this movie? If you want to release a musical number in promotion for this movie, don't you want it to be a fucking banger? That just felt weird and awkward.
I'm going to tell you this right now. That's how all the songs are in the movie. There's
Oh,
nothing much
God.
better than that one. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe of the whole thing. So,
That's bad.
yeah, not great. We have a super chat here from Chalk King. This didn't need a sequel, in my opinion. Why? Well, I do think Joaquin said, I don't do sequels, right? That's what he said. And he said he would only do it if the treatment looked really good. And I will say, on paper, the idea of a deconstructed Joker movie that's a musical with Harley Quinn could have worked. It could have worked. But this one does not, because that scene that we just watched, imagine a bunch of those scenes just dropped in randomly throughout the movie. That's kind of how that works in the film.
Are there
Also,
any originals at all? Jukebox.
There's some in there. Like Lady Gaga released a companion.
Yeah, she released
album.
a song. Yeah.
So I think some of them are from that. I'm not. A lot of them are older songs that I just don't recognize or whatever. But yeah, I mean, there's a companion album that came out. It's a lot of that vibe through the whole thing. It's really kind of hard to explain the movie. The only thing that truly matters is the last 5 minutes of the film. Like,
and
to
it
be
also
completely
doesn't
honest.
feel like Lady Gaga's music either. Like,
Well, I think that someone made the joke. They're like, "Is it in Lady Gaga's contract that she has to be able to sing in every movie that she's in? Because that seems to be the case now. Is that she's singing in everything that she's dropped into? I don't know if that's the reality or not. But
Is it that, or is it she's getting cast because she can sing? Because I know Phil Collins always fought against that. He always wanted to just be cast in a movie and just be an actor.
I've
But
seen
they're always like, do a song. It's like, God damn it.
I've seen actors have like ridiculous requests, like where The Rock has like in his contract that he can't lose a fight.
look,
Yeah, I've
here's
heard
the
about
other
that
thing:
one, yeah.
is if you love Harley Quinn, this movie's just gonna piss you off because it doesn't do enough with this version of Harley to make it interesting, but it also isn't nostalgic enough to make you go, yeah, I love this version of Harley. It's almost like this character could have been someone else because they have changed the story so much that she's almost unrecognizable as Harley, except in the scenes where you see her in the makeup. And even then,
Margaret
it's not.
Robbie will be forever the best live action Harley that we've seen.
Hold on, rewind.
What?
Say that name again.
Margaret?
Margot.
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 Hey,
But,
Southern talk, you know?
You know, again, this is another thing on paper, though. Like, you tell me, let's do a musical sequel to Joker, and we're going to cast Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. I'm like, that's good casting for a musical Joker. That sounds like that could work. Now it sounds like it definitely doesn't, but it's disappointing.
What's funny is I say Gal's last name is Gadot.
Godot. It's like boat. Godot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I say it as
I'm
Gal
terrible
Gadot.
at names, so
Well, I've heard Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot. It's dote, like boat.
yeah.
That's the easy
I remember purposely adding the T because I always used to chop off the T. Then I learned Israeli, you leave the T on.
I like say it how it's spelled.
Right. So I'm going to say this, and if you are dead set on going to see the Joker 2, I would love to hear what everybody's opinion of it is in the chat after you see it. If you're someone that's on the fence about it and you value my opinion on it, I would suggest waiting for it to come out on streaming.
To be honest, I think the only reason I might go see it next week is that I am sort of craving theater popcorn. I've been craving it for like a few weeks, so like
Wait for Venom.
There's better movies you can go see though.
Venom's 10 times better.
I want Paige to see it so he can be subjected to how awful it is. Let's see it. I want you to.
If I had to suffer through it, so do you.
All right, so this little clip, we got one more video, and then we got a couple trailers we're going to watch, and then we're going to wrap it up. But this video here was from Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi, I think is where they said it was. It's the Warner Brothers world. But somebody said that this Flash suit in this clip is CW coded. I'm like, no, it's literally the CW suit. Like, this is a copy of Grant Gustin's suit. But here's the clip. We're going to watch the clip here.
Flash, we got about 3 minutes left. Let's go. Awesome. You have enough time. Let me grab a burger first.
What?
Big belly burger.
Let's go.
So
what's funny is they had the effect of the 90s Flash.
Yeah. I mean, this is about as close to the CW suit as you can get for like a TV commercial. The Green Lantern suit doesn't look good, though. I have to say, the Green Lantern suit.
Yeah.
Look up the movie world suits from, because this is like a movie world like they have in Australia. Look up the Gold Coast movie world Justice League suits.
Okay, let me see. Is it similar to that one?
No, the Flash one is
Looks like a Halloween costume
very different.
with the muscle pads.
Trust me, set the tone, Kai. I remember during COVID, they kept the cinema open for the door dashing popcorn, and like you don't have them over there. We have like things called Choc Tops over here.
Wait,
which
you can
are like
actually DoorDash movie theater popcorn now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I used to.
Yeah,
only get it
the
'cause
movie theater that I go to or whatever, they do that.
It's only worth it if the theater is actually sort of close to you, because it gets cold by the time it gets to you, and you got to have at least slightly warmish popcorn.
All right, so I think this is it. Let me let me pull this up. Actually, the suits aren't awful, but hold on.
I wish you can DoorDash the theater.
Oh, I think that would be asking for too much, 3Dub. There we go. This is that. This is what I found.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if that's the current people in it, but that's pretty much it.
I will say that suit looks a lot like the suit that David Cornsweat's wearing, except for the red trunks on it. I mean, it's a very similar.
They also have a Batman. They have Robin. They have Harley Quinn.
The
Joker.
Wonder Woman suit kind of reminds me of Audrey Lepage.
Yeah, the one from the TV show.
I think it's all based off the New 52 from what I know. They're all new.
The Green Lantern suit there looks very similar to the one we just watched, but it's got the shoulder pads on it.
Yeah,
that Flash suit isn't bad though. Like a lot of times the Flash suits look really good. That Flash suit actually doesn't look bad, and I think the Supergirl suit looks okay too.
You'd probably love it, Eric. There's that's an actual Hall of Justice, and there's a ride in there. I think Starro's the villain inside of it.
Where's the Suicide Squad? Don't they fight Starro? Isn't that their villain?
No.
Yeah, Justice League never fights Starro. I don't know. What you're
Yeah. No, I like that Flash suit. That actually looks really good. I will say this: the more I see these kinds of suits, the more I hate the one that Ezra Miller wore in the Flash movie.
Like
I really
overly
didn't
technical.
Like that suit.
Yeah.
It's like they took advice from like the
That's so
CW
weird.
season 5 suit. Let's make something a lot worse.
I think it's probably just the
Yeah.
design of trying a bit too hard. Like something you just got to try and make it. You just go too far with it, if you know what I mean. It's like even like how people criticize the Marvel one, like why are there all these like lines on them? Like if you kept it like blank almost,
I mean-
it'd look better. But
The DCEU had that issue where it was following the CW, and CW did some stuff right, and they were like, "No, we gotta do it different." And it's like, okay,
It
now
kind
it's
of
just
like
crappier. Yeah.
what they were trying to do with like the suit for the Flash. It felt like they were trying to do like an alien, like alien type suit where it's like, because if you look at Superman's suit, you know, from the DCEU, he had like lines on it, and it kind of looked alien-y. Same thing with Power Rangers. They try to make the suits alien instead of like.
But I think that's why the CW suits worked for the most part, is they did sort of try to stay true to the comic books with most of their suits. So I know
Serenity,
people do like it, so.
movie theater popcorn tastes 100% different to popcorn you make at home, unless you got a movie theater popper in there or something like that.
I have one.
Because here's the thing: if you make popcorn at home, it's actually pretty healthy. If you get it from the theater, you might die.
We have a
yeah.
full-on like movie theater.
If I watch Joker 2, I
bad.
might actually die.
I should bring the movie
bad.
theater popcorn thing in here
No.
and like pop it in front of everybody so they can see.
I
me
have
popping it in the
I
background.
have the reusable popcorn bucket, so I always get a whole bunch of popcorn whenever I go, dirt cheap, and then I can get free refills on it. So before the movie, refill; after the movie, refill. Snack at home.
Who here is a fan of Paddington?
I haven't seen the first two.
I enjoy.
I used to watch the cartoon. I used to watch the
Don't blow my
cartoon when I was
mind,
younger.
Well, this is the
Paddington
trailer.
two
No,
is-
that was a cartoon.
Paddington 2 is like a very good movie. It's better than the first one.
So we are watching Paddington and Peru trailer on Joe Blow movie trailers. So
Fuck.
Wait, is it actually?
yeah, it is
I
on
can
Joe
see
Blow.
the, I can see the logo on
This
the
would be
corner. Yeah.
3, right? They're
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's the
the,
third
I believe
one.
this is the
Yeah.
third one. Yeah, but it's the second trailer. So let's see. That looks really good.
Well, Screaming Goats in the Thor movie, but
No, is
Oh,
it
yeah,
the
yeah.
same crew that did the other ones? Because
I don't know.
vibing just like them. So
Yeah,
if it's not the
I
same
would-
crew, that good job.
Paddington 2 is amazing, by the way. I really, really love that. So, thought the second was really good. All right, we have one more trailer here to watch. Now, this one is one that I have not seen yet, which is the movie Elevation, which is an Anthony Mackie movie. Has anybody heard about this one?
No.
I
think of
hear
that.
it's about leveling up. Yeah.
I can only think of that U2 song when I think of Elevation.
Yeah, it's about making a U2 song.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This one is on Joe Blow trailers as well. So,
Oh god.
You just love taking them out, don't you?
All right,
I'm here
There we go.
as soon as Bono pops and I'm out.
yeah, I don't really know what this is. I don't think I've even heard of this movie. Here we go.
Oh, great. I didn't know.
3 years ago, the world we knew disappeared overnight.
Oh, it's another dystopian future movie. We don't have enough of those.
Global warming.
Oh, maybe.
We lost our homes, our communities, and most of the people we loved. We still don't know why above 8,000 feet we're safe.
Oh,
Go, 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 go!
oh shit.
Hunter's
It's
last
like a
filter
monster
burnt out.
movie.
The hospital in Boulder will have a crate of them.
You're gonna have to go below the line at least a dozen times.
If I don't
Oh,
go,
Marina
Hunter dies.
Backman.
They can't be killed. But no one's had a chance to study them.
Oh
If you
shit.
study something long enough, you can figure out how to kill it.
So this is an alien movie then, or some kind of like.
Yeah, it seems like it's obviously global warming, but like it's not directly global warming.
Well, it could be like
It
some,
kind
like,
of feels
nu-
like an
Well, no, because
IO.
wasn't it like missiles? Maybe it's a nuclear war or something, and stuff gets.
Did something similar happen in IO where it's the same where Sam Wilson, the actor, Anthony Mackie, collect finally, he was in with it's basically a post-apocalyptic war.
Yeah, I
wasteland.
mean, definitely, yeah. But I'm trying to figure out if it's like an alien thing or if it's like mutations from like some sort of like fallout or what it is. But
It looked like
anyway.
some like giant squid or octopus
Yeah.
or something that was chasing them before.
It's just weird that like 8,000 feet and higher they're safe. So
That's why it's called elevation.
elevation, they got me.
If it doesn't kill you first.
It's alien.
It's different seeing.
Hold on for a second. I want to.
Yeah, it looked like a had legs.
So like a dog with squid heads. Hold on, let me mute it and
Okay.
we'll run it slowly.
Like a rhino or some shit.
Playback speed. There. Oh yeah.
Sit, boy, sit.
Yeah, it's
Very
got like
weird.
4 legs or something. Yeah.
I will say though, if you know that it can't go higher than 8,000 feet, just stand at like 8,000 feet in one and just shoot at it until it dies. Like
Yeah.
that would be my
Yeah.
solution. But anyway, let's see.
It's different seeing them up close. We're not meant to share the planet with those things.
1 centimeter, we're
They're
doing.
Earth's new apex predators. But one day we're gonna beat them.
Wait, who was that? They look familiar.
I
Yeah, I
can't
don't
do this
know.
alone. Come on, Will! We're gonna have to fight them eventually.
Definitely alien.
I'm not leaving you. We're in this.
Loving
together.
monsters.
A lot more of us are gonna die.
I can't lose you.
This is about more than just your son.
There's no such thing as more than my son.
Oh, it's in theaters too. Okay, I thought it might be a streaming movie, but it's not. It's actually in theaters. I don't know. They got me hooked. I think this looks really interesting to me. It's a
Yeah,
good trailer.
I kind of want to see what the early reviews are, but like it's an interesting premise. I kind of want to know what they do with it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was it. So we're gonna stop the screen there. Anybody have anything? Chat. I'm gonna give you guys about 10 minutes to send in anything if you have any stuff you want us to talk about or stuff we might have missed while we close up here.
What was the? I think I came in like on the 5th topic. What was the other topics?
The 5th topipic.
Yeah.
How do you know it's 5 topics if you weren't
Yeah.
here?
Because I counted your tabs.
I closed a few of them. I talked about the shorts for YouTube. We talked about Twilight of the Gods, Zack Snyder.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, did you talk about the YouTube shorts going to 3 minutes now?
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to help channels though. That's my only thing. I don't think.
Everyone has a short attention span.
Yeah. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is like everybody I know, and this is what I said when we were talking about it, that reached 100,000 subscribers by doing YouTube Shorts, have not seen an increase in viewership on their regular videos or their live streams. And that's the big issue is if you're trying to grow your channel and turn YouTube into sort of a second income, you can't do it with YouTube Shorts. There's not enough money there. Bob, you had an example. How many views did you have on your video versus how much you got for the video?
Oh, my most successful short has 140,000 views. It's earned me a lifetime of $14.
Wow.
So yeah. So it's
you
not
can buy a
worth it.
car with that.
What I use YouTube Shorts
One of those
for
like Hot Wheels cars.
is edits from live streams, like little clips from live streams, and content that's not made specifically for shorts. Because if you're just recycling content you already have, then it's not really that big of a deal.
They can't just adapt everything that's under 3 minutes into a short though, because what's going to happen to movie trailers? Those are around
Right.
2.5.
Yeah. They're going to have to somehow figure out how to do that. They did say on the article it was going to take up to 3 weeks for them to get the whole thing implemented, to get it all like laid out and everything. But you're right. If they're going to convert everything into shorts, trailers are going to look really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really, really bad.
You will not be able to use YouTube for trailers unless you start padding out the beginnings and ends or something like that.
Yeah. HBO Max took some animated shows away? Really? Hold on, let me see.
Man,
Well, I mean, they decided to delete Sesame Street, so this is
well,
a big
once they
surprise.
took HBO off, that I swear that streaming service has just gone downhill.
Let's see.
I still like. I've actually seen a dog named Max before.
Oh, it's Cartoon Network stuff. They removed a bunch of Cartoon Network stuff.
Wow.
The ones that people say are not on there anymore are Ben 10, Steven Universe,
Darren's going to flip.
Powerpuff Girls, Amazing World of Gumball, We Bare Bears, and Chowder are all gone.
It sounds like they might have actually improved the service by taking those off. So like that
Darren
actually.
and Chainsaw are going flip.
That's crazy. That's pretty crazy, actually.
Eric, remember when, I don't know if you remember when like the potential of the weekly alien conversation was a possibility for the streams?
Well, we talked about it. We never followed up on it.
Well, I can confirm that Unsolved Mysteries just released some new episodes, and one of them is talking about the Roswell UFO crash.
Why don't we? Okay, so this might be interesting. Unsolved Mysteries, like the newer one, the new.
They
season.
just released a new volume, and
Okay.
it's got one of the episodes. There's one about some like park beheadings or something like that, and then there's like 4 or 5, but one of them is on the Roswell UFO.
Okay, so
incident,
I'm
they
gonna
call it.
ask the chat. This is on both of my channels, so I'm gonna ask the chat. You guys can all chime in on this. Would you be interested in a podcast where Paigey and I and any guests that want to join in talk about like aliens and
supernatural.
mythology, cryptozoology, folklore, stuff like that? Because I wouldn't mind doing it.
Beyond
But-
the Universe podcast.
Yeah, but it would probably be something
Into the unknown.
we would either record. Actually, we would probably try recording the episode first and then uploading it, or maybe doing it live. I don't know. It really depends. But I'm very curious, and I think it's quite interesting. It doesn't really fit in totally with my content, which is why I think doing it as a podcast would be better than
The
doing
Last
it as like
of
a
Us.
video. Because that kind of stuff is pretty exciting. But I wouldn't know where to begin, so we'd probably have to start out an episode with like one specific thing, like ancient aliens or giants or the Mothman or Bigfoot or something. Yeah, we could do all of that. It would be really interesting. I wonder if the chat would be interested in doing it, and if anybody else would want to come on and
Chupacabra.
talk about it. So Chupacabra. We could talk about the Tasmanian
The
devil. Is that a
supernatural.
cryptozoology creature?
No, the Tasmanian tiger, but now extinct. But they believe that the Tasmanian tiger still exists, and it's walking around Tasmania somewhere. And there's like
So in your backyard, right? Where
no, I'm not incestual, so I'm not Tasmanian.
X-Files.
yeah. Unsolved Mysteries. What service is that on now? What streaming service is that?
Netflix.
It was Netflix last I saw.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can go. You
okay?
can watch the old ones on Prime. I think Prime has the old one, but the new ones are on like whenever they started making them are on Netflix.
I
Well-
mean, I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
but-
I wasn't able to get into the new one just because I miss Robert Stack too much.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not.
yeah.
It's not the same. Like I don't even know if some of them have like a narrator and stuff. They just
Well,
sort of jump
the
into
truth
it.
is, if we wanted to get around a copyright thing, we could actually watch clips on YouTube, because most of that stuff, not Unsolved Mystery, but most of that, conspiracy
Like, people
theory stuff
do
or whatever
videos on them and
is
stuff like
videos.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 100%. Some people.
Well, I
seem
still
like they're
can't.
interested.
I still can't get
That-
over the whole thing that like Unsolved Mysteries inspired like the Jeepers Creepers opening scenes and stuff like that. I can't believe that was real, like that whole incident. Until I actually saw people put the side by side of the Unsolved Mysteries episode and Jeepers Creepers, and I'm like, oh, they literally just inspired it.
Well, we might try and do it as a podcast, like maybe something we record in advance and then upload as like a premiere or something, so people can tune in. And then we might do something like once in a while, do it live. You know what I mean? Like just have a special edition where we do all of it live stream. Maybe a follow up. Maybe like we do a month's worth of podcast, and then the very beginning of the next month we go live and talk about all of it like together in one stream. Might be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I am interested in that stuff, so I would totally love to do it. I got sucked into like the ghost videos on YouTube, the debunked ghost videos where people are like, "My house is haunted," and then somebody watches it and they're like, "No, it's your electrical system."
Can I tell? Have you got a real life ghost story? Because I have one where I'm certain there was some spirit like stalking me. It was at a year 9 or 10
Stalking
camp.
you?
It was like stalking. It was like,
How would
it
you
was
know it?
creepy.
They're transparent.
So it was like when I was like 15 or 16, and I went to Catholic school. So we went to when we went to like camps, go to like school camps and stuff like that. We used to go to like these ones that were like, I don't know, you wouldn't call them Catholic camps, but they were like they had like a church or something in them, or a chapel or something. And then it was like, whatever, they had like archery and BMX tracks and stuff like that. But there was this statue of Mary, so Jesus'
Okay.
mother.
Right.
Thanks. I can't
Creep.
tell.
Well, knowing you three, I would have been like, Mary, oh, what, Madam Web? You would have said something like that. But it was the creepiest statue I've ever seen. And at night, like when the campfire was going, it would glow in this really weird way. And I just, it creeped everyone out. It creeped everyone out at this camp, especially at night. It just felt like that thing was like, there was like an unsettled thing. It almost reminded me of, what was that show? It was like an American or Canadian Nickelodeon show. I think it was called like Scaredy Camp.
Are you scared of the dark? Is that
no, because that was a show. It was like Scaredy Camp where they'd have to do things that used to give me the fucking shits when I was a kid and watching, like in a bad way, like scared. Because I was like, I couldn't do this if I was younger. Like if I was actually there, like they do some like really scary things. But I think that's the only. There's also like a rumor of like, I think I've told you this, but well, it's not a rumor. It happened, but like I don't know if it's haunted. But like on my nan's street, there's a place called the Murder House. Like literally like 5 doors up, and like Kate Blanchett used to live in it. Like when she was neighbors with my nan when she was younger and going through acting school. And like a multiple murder thing happened in that house. They still believe it's haunted to this day. I don't know how. I don't know if there's screams at the night or like. I couldn't imagine living in a haunted house.
I only have like one thing that's sort of like a haunted story, but it's not really exciting. We had a house.
Is this at the McDonald's or is this another one?
Yeah, 100%. No, we had a house across the street from where I grew up. It was like a 2-story house, and it was an older like plantation house, so it'd been around for a really long time. And we were upstairs all hanging out as kids, and the girl that we knew that lived there said the house was haunted. She's like, my house is haunted. And we're like, what? She's like, yeah, there's a ghost. And we were just like, okay, yeah.
Casually.
Yeah. So we're all sitting there. There was like 4 or 5 of us. I think it was like 5 of us. And there's a bed by the window. The window was open on the 2nd floor. And then there was a box fan on the floor where we were. And then there was like a couple chairs on the other side of the room. And as she's telling us, we're like, we don't believe you. Like, this sounds ridiculous. Your house is not haunted or whatever. And as we're talking about this, the box fan flies out of the window on the 2nd floor. Like, it just goes from the floor right out of the window. And literally we left and never went back to our house again. So I can't tell you if it was real or fake, but I can tell you that we left as soon as that happened. I was like, we're never going back to that house. So that's the whole story, but it was just like, it was really scary at the time. And I'm like, they must have set that up. I bet you they had it on a wire. Like, her brother was waiting for us to believe it was haunted and then just pulled it out the window or something. I saw like memes of what people would like basically blow up the house for is losing track of a spider. Well, that's not haunted, 3Dub. It's not a haunted house.
Did you happen to live in Amityville, Eric? Is that where you lived when you were younger?
Yeah, that's where I was when I was younger. What's funny is as we're talking about this, in my recommended right under the chat, it says, worst scary videos of the year so far. So it might be fun one day to just sit on here and react to those kinds of videos to see if it's actually like scary or not. That's kind of funny. Anyway, we'll talk about it more later on. But thanks everybody for coming. Don't forget, next Monday, in place of the Nocturnal Nerdcast, it will be the after party, and we're going to be talking about Superman and Lois, the first 2 episodes. And I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to start because I want to give everybody about an hour between the 2nd episode and starting. Paigey may or may not be here for the beginning of the stream because of the fact that he's got to film his review. But I will be starting probably an hour and a half after the shows air. So if you're not watching it live, don't worry. It'll be available for the next day. It's going to be taking the place of my reviews. So all of my thoughts and opinions will be on those live streams. And everybody who joins me now, if you're going to be watching it, obviously you can jump in and join. So that's fine. Bob, you did a live stream tonight. I saw you were live earlier.
Yes.
What was that about? Was you reacting to like a Chud video or something? Is that what was going on?
Yeah. I mean, we covered the end of Absolute Power, but then I went over Alistair Haycon's video on me.
Okay.
It was hilariously bad.
How long is that stream? I might go check it out when we're done.
It's I think I start if you're looking for the coverage, it's probably about an hour and a half into the stream.
Okay.
I don't remember how long the stream is, so it's probably about an hour and a half worth of coverage.
It's still up though. You didn't take it down off your channel?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I will probably edit into something at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really thinking maybe maybe covering more guys who cover us, because like the reactions are so fucking bad. Their arguments are ridiculous.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Anyway, thanks 3Dub for being here, and as Paigey always here to be edgy, and the edgiest of edge streams. Anyway, I don't have an outro yet, so I'm gonna get 3Dub to make one for me, and I'll have it next time we go live. So anyway, see everyone later. Have a good night. Bye.